movies and games and TV shows, the Cinemaniacs podcast. Welcome back, everybody, to the Cinemaniacs podcast. As always, I'm joined with my co-host,
Matthew.
And today, we're going to be talking about movies, games, and TV shows. Obviously, always. We have a whole bunch of news today, a whole lot of trailers.
Yes, whole lot of trailers.
Yes.
A lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff. We got Barbie trailer. We got Into the Spider-Verse trailer. We got some likely Marvel versus DC news. Huh? Interesting. Got a Joker. All sorts of stuff. Star Wars. Yes. But let's go ahead and start it off today. Actually, quick little story time. We were before we were recording this, we were gonna go see the new movie Air.
Yes, we were.
Yes, and we pulled up. Showing was at 8:30. We pulled up at like 8:40.
Yeah.
And we got to the door, and they locked it. They locked us out.
Yes.
So AMC will no longer be getting our services except for the next time that we go to the movie theater, because it's the only one we have. They said, keep those Cinemaniacs out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sadly, there will be no Air review, but we do have the Mario review.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
That's a big one. This episode is kind of not centered around Mario, but
it'll be a big thing for sure.
It's a big part of the episode for sure. But we can go ahead and start off something not Mario related at all. But we got the Blue Beetle trailer.
Okay.
It looks pretty good. George Lopez is in it as Jaime, his uncle.
Batman's a fascist.
Yeah, Batman's a fascist. Yeah, great line, honestly. Hilarious line. It looks pretty good.
Looks great, honestly. Well, I don't know about great, but it looks like it will be really fun.
Yeah, it looks fun. It really does.
I especially like the one scene where he gets like the sword or whatever, and like kicks
the giant,
it up and
Final Fantasy sword. Yeah,
that was a really cool scene.
It's a good scene.
The visuals are nice too.
Yeah, they are
so far. Yeah,
it looks really good, and it's supposed to be the first DCU movie. So it's the first one after the Flash. Supposedly, I think. Yeah,
that's kind of interesting. Starting it off with like a solo. A new solo story.
Yeah, for sure.
That'll be interesting for sure.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be pretty fun. He seems like he's gonna be the Spider-Man of the new DC universe.
Yeah, it seems like
kind of a mixture of like Spider-Man and Iron Man kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know a whole lot about Blue Beetle, but the character, from what I do know, is a fun character, and it seems like they've captured the essence pretty well. And I'm excited to see what they do going forward with that. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, we got to talk about this.
Oh, God.
Dwayne Johnson, everybody's favorite businessman, Dwayne Johnson, has confirmed that he bullied Disney into making a live-action Moana, a project that is not even 10 years old. How are we feeling about this? This is... yeah.
Yeah. Just...
kind of the
why
yeah,
like I think everyone, at least the general consensus and my opinion on the like Disney live action remakes is like, okay, but like do them, but like at least do them good and like take your time on them,
yeah.
It feels like they're just trying to like pump them out now. It's like, oh, we got to get the... isn't there another one that they just confirmed as well recently? Another live-action remake of something as well? I'm pretty sure they did. And if not, then they did like 2 weeks ago.
If they didn't confirm anything else, they will tomorrow.
Yeah,
like they will.
It's
eventually.
Literally just too much, and especially Moana, which isn't even...
It's 7 years old. Yeah,
doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, it's really weird.
It's going to be bad.
It's the same cast. It's just the same movie. Entirely, nothing different. It's weird.
Awful.
Yeah, it's weird that this is getting a live action adaptation before like Frozen.
Frozen.
A movie that is 10 years old and is way, way more popular.
Yeah. I don't.
So it truly feels like Black Adam. It feels like this is his Black Adam for Disney, where it's
Yeah.
like I gotta keep this character alive. This is all I've got, kind of thing. This is my property. It kind of feels like
Dude,
Dwayne thinks that he owns the characters he plays.
bro, I'm not ready for. It's okay to say you're welcome to come back, bro. I'm not ready for that to come back.
Yeah, I don't think any of us are.
It's
Uh,
probably not though. Honestly, the movie, even with The Rock, I feel like the movie still is just gonna like fade into nothingness, probably.
yeah, it'll come out. It'll be popular for a week, and it'll be gone
Yeah.
into the background. It could be better than the animated version because it is the same cast, it's the same story, so it has the
know,
possibility
bro.
of topping.
I just don't see, especially with like a lot of the stuff that goes on with in the movie. I just don't see it being as good in live action.
I don't either.
And I'm not the hugest fan of the animated movie already in the
Right.
first place, but it's all right.
Yeah,
It's okay.
it's
But
better than Frozen 2. That's for
oh my
sure.
gosh, yeah. That's one thing I will say about Moana. Moana hasn't gotten like a really bad like sequel movie
Yeah,
like a lot of the Disney princesses get and stuff, but they're doing a remake in live action 7 years after the movie came out,
right.
so kind of counterbalances.
It
I
also
guess.
didn't feel like they were trying to recapture the magic of Frozen. It felt like they had another movie idea they wanted to do, and they just did it.
Yeah,
Unlike Encanto, which was we need something else. We need to make another Frozen, so they
yeah,
just made Encanto, and it was not. It was popular again for the month that it was out.
dude. Disney is
They're struggling.
bro. People have theories, man, that some of these larger corporations are like broker than they're leading on. The one in particular is Warner Brothers, but
Yeah, that one makes sense.
But
Yeah,
Disney, even Disney too, people are saying that the big corporations and stuff, they could fall, and that'd be honestly pretty nice creatively. I'm not gonna lie,
I
'cause
mean, hey,
some of these studios would flourish more, without the oversight and everything.
no, you're right. You're right. The reason most of the stuff, the reason all the things that aren't Disney branded, like Marvel and Star Wars and Pixar, they're their own things owned by Disney,
Yeah.
is the only reason they have like awful things every now and then is because of Disney.
Yeah. And we
So
wouldn't get these live action remakes that nobody wants, bro.
yeah,
That's the biggest thing that everyone's saying is like nobody wants these.
yeah,
They are so out of touch with their audience. It's like insane.
it's crazy. The fact that the only good one that they've ever made was the first live action they ever did, which was Jungle Book.
Yeah.
Yeah, not. I'm not a good sign that your only good one was the first one you tried to do.
Yeah. I I don't understand it.
I don't either. But moving on to more positive
Yeah.
news,
More positive.
more exciting news. We got the Barbie trailer,
Yes.
and it looks magical and wonderful.
Yes, for
I'm
sure.
excited. It looks like it's taking a lot of inspiration from the Lego movie.
Yeah.
Funny because Will Ferrell and it looks like he's gonna be playing like Lord Business.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
But to me, from what I grasped from the trailer, was it looks like it's gonna be Barbie and Ken go on this road trip to basically find out that they're toys, and they're gonna go into quote unquote the real world to see that they are toys. But it's gonna be like not the real world, but a Barbie version of the real world with
Okay.
Will Ferrell's character.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I kind of put it together.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, Simu Liu, everybody's playing Ken and Barbie except
Yeah.
for Michael Cera.
It's
who's
I
Alan.
really don't know what to like expect from the movie itself, It's
Yeah.
just from the trailer it looks good, it looks
Yeah,
fun.
right, yeah.
I just don't know what to actually expect from like the plot and like story in terms of like the quality and everything.
Right, that's
But
fair.
honestly, I think it could be a movie that has like like it's like fun and kind of lighthearted on the outside,
Yeah.
but has like an actual genuinely good like plot and story to it. You know,
Right.
I could definitely seeing it be like that.
I could too.
That'd
Yeah.
be cool.
Yeah. It looks really
It
fun.
looks really like a really fun movie. The colors are popping. The pinks.
Yes, the
Pinks are
pinks,
popping.
the blondes.
Ryan Gosling recently said that he was born to play the role of Ken
That's so
in the Barbie
interesting.
movie. He was born to play it.
That's so funny. I mean, if he thinks that if he thinks so, then yeah, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
I
All right.
mean, you know, the cast is great. The director, Greta Gerwig, is great. I'm sure it will be a fun time for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be. That and Oppenheimer, same day watch. That'll be a big episode when we watch those two. That'll be a big
Okay.
one. Yeah. But Barbie trailer looks good. Looks good.
Oh, for sure.
We have some surprisingly, kind of surprising. Shrek 5 has been officially confirmed and will
Yep.
be returning with the OG cast, all original cast. It's exciting. That's pretty exciting.
It's very exciting.
Yeah, especially with what they did. I know you haven't seen The
Still haven't
Last
seen it,
Wish,
yeah.
but with what they did with The Last Wish, this could be the best Shrek film. It's possible,
I mean,
especially with today's audience and the kids that have grown up that are now our age.
I'm here for it, man.
Yeah,
I'm here for it.
DreamWorks, unlike Disney, grew up with its audience.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
I think we're in for something very special
Oh, yeah.
with
Humor's
Shrek.
going to be great. I imagine they'll probably try to bring back as many characters as possible. And
Yeah,
stuff.
definitely.
So,
They're definitely gonna pull
sure it'll
all
be
the.
fun. I even heard that there were talks of a donkey spin-off as well.
That's interesting. That's very interesting.
Imagine like a very serious like donkey kind of movie.
Like it's
Like an anime kind of style donkey movie
yeah,
or something.
it's
Like
a serious
crazy.
film. It's a drama
Yeah.
directed by Scorsese. That'd be hilarious.
That'd
That
be
would be
so
so funny. Yeah, but Shrek 5 confirmed. That's very exciting. Can't wait for that.
For sure.
Joker 2, Joker Folie à Deux, has officially wrapped filming and is going to be released on October 24th, 2024. Yeah,
Okay.
2024.
So basically, Halloween 2024 movie.
Yes, which Halloween last year was the first, or not last year, but 2019 was
Yeah.
the first Joker movie. So I mean, keeping with that
Yeah.
October.
Did you
release,
see some of the pictures and stuff of
Yeah.
Lady Gaga as
She
Harley?
looks good.
Bro, did you see her in the exact same like elevator or whatever? It has
Mhm.
like the one iconic Well, he has a lot of iconic pictures.
Right,
with the
yeah.
Joker, but the one where he's like, you know, in the
the
elevator and stuff.
elevator,
She got herself an iconic picture already, and the movie's not even out yet.
Yeah,
So
crazy.
you know, honestly, I think that Lady Gaga is a pretty good casting as Harley Quinn.
I do too.
And I think her and Joaquin Phoenix are probably gonna have. They're probably gonna have a pretty good chemistry going on. I think.
I think so.
Just my prediction, I guess, but
They both play crazy in different ways. So
Yeah.
I think we're in for something there.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
it's gonna be good.
I've seen people that are like, Lady Gaga can't act. Why is she in this movie?
Oh my gosh.
Bruh. Okay, first of all, she can act.
She can.
I am of the opinion that she can act more than she can sing. If in my personal opinion,
I don't really know her singing that well. Like her like non-auto tune or
Right.
editing like singing or whatever.
Well, at the Oscars, she sang that one song that she did in Top Gun, but it wasn't that good. Like it wasn't that great of a performance.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I don't know. But the movie, I'm excited to see what they do. It seems like it's gonna be a good one.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
she'll be good. I'm sure. I'm sure she'll be good. A
yeah.
good realistic Harley Quinn.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah. We got a bunch of Star Wars. I'm guessing you've got a lot of the Star
Yeah.
Wars down.
I got some Star Wars stuff. Yeah.
Well, I have written down here first is the Ahsoka trailer because that's what
Yes.
I was most excited for
Yeah.
personally. That looks good.
Yes.
I don't
looking
know if-
Good.
I don't know if it's just me or if it's the lighting of the way it's shot or something, but it looked like they had like orange lightsabers.
Yes. Okay, I was actually that was like the first thing in my mind. I was like, okay, make sure you say this when he brings up the Ahsoka thing.
Yeah.
Or make sure I say this in general. It's I'm pretty sure that that is intentional and that those are orange lightsabers and not red lightsabers.
Yeah.
No, they're not supposed to be red lightsabers just done badly because they just did the Kenobi show and Darth Vader's lightsaber was a perfect red, and so were all the Inquisitors and stuff.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, it has to be like a story kind of. They have orange lightsabers, which there are orange lightsabers, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
They're most famously probably in the Jedi Fallen Order games and the new Jedi Survivor game. You can have an orange lightsaber in that, but it's like there's all different colors of lightsabers. I imagine this is just Disney's way of, and obviously like the people at Lucasfilm and stuff.
Yeah.
It's their way of establishing, that there are those different colored lightsabers. Get audiences out of the shell of blue, green, red.
Yeah. And the only purple we've ever seen is Mace Windu.
Mace Windu, yeah.
Got to get that out there more.
Which
too.
technically, that's because Mace Windu was the reason purple got invented as a color, know. But
thank you, Sam. Thank you, Samuel Jackson, for that. Yeah. But the Ahsoka trailer looks good.
Yeah.
Again, Ray Stevenson is one of the villains of the film.
Yeah.
I don't know who the actress was. I can't remember who it said it was, but Ray Stevenson, great actor. He's obviously he plays the Punisher, and he's in the Thor movies.
Yeah, so a bunch of the Ahsoka people. Are you familiar with the animated show Star Wars Rebels?
Yeah.
You heard of it? A lot of the characters, because Ahsoka's in that show.
Right.
A lot of the characters that were in the trailer a lot of the characters from Rebels are in the trailer and stuff. Yeah. They're going to be in the next show. Some that include Sabine. I haven't watched Rebels, by the way, so I don't know a lot of these characters.
Right.
Like, at least some of them. I know some of them, and I don't know. Like, Sabine, I don't know her at all. She's, like, the human girl with, like, the purple hair or something like that, I think.
Okay.
And then there's also Hera, who's like the green alien chick with like the
played with by
Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Yeah. And then the big one is going to be the villain of the show, Thrawn,
who is the same actor from the show.
Yeah.
They come from that.
And he's a big Star Wars. He hasn't been in live action yet, but he's like a big Star Wars villain. Besides like Darth Vader and like Palpatine, he's like probably he's up like there for like a fan favorite.
Wow.
And he's like a mastermind. That's like what's different. He's not like a lightsaber guy. He's like a mastermind kind of guy. So
wow.
It'll be interesting to see how they do that. They literally reference the book that Thrawn is like comes from. It's called Heir to the Empire. Okay. Thrawn is like supposed to be the heir to the Empire or whatever after it falls. And they literally call him. They literally say that in the trailer. That he's the heir to the Empire or something like that. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, Ahsoka has some interesting things going on.
Yeah.
And it's obviously going to follow Rosario Dawson playing the older version of Ahsoka.
Right. Who was only casted because of fan art from Boss Logic.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Boss Logic made a fan art of her in like 2019, like the year before season 2 of Mandalorian came out.
Yeah.
Or was even in production.
Her introduction in Mandalorian is so great.
It's amazing.
Not only the planet that they were on had like such a great atmosphere, but her lightsabers, bro.
The white lightsabers, so clean.
They were so nice.
They're nice. Yeah, but she was casted because of fan art, which is really cool. She still just did an interview when they were doing the announcements and stuff. It literally was like, yeah, I kind of owe this to Boss Logic for making the fan art, which is so cool.
That's crazy how just like fan arts and stuff can make stuff happen like that.
I know.
But she's a great Ahsoka, you know.
She's awesome.
People wanted to nitpick at like the most tiniest stuff when
like
she was introduced.
Or her headpiece or whatever.
Like the tendrils or whatever on her head, bro. Guess what? They freaking lengthened them for the Ahsoka show. and made him accurate or whatever.
Because people were crying.
Yeah, because people were complaining. Bro, I mean, obviously that's cool that they lengthened them, made them like more accurate, but they were fine. They weren't like ruining my experience or whatever.
See, this is almost perfect, but her tendrils aren't long enough, so I'm not gonna like it.
But
Star Wars fans.
But yeah, apparently they fixed it in the Ahsoka show, so no more tendril problems.
No more tendril problems. I'll let you deliver the rest of the Star Wars news.
Okay, I got some good Star Wars news. So
we also got some bad Star Wars news, but
Carrie Condon from who was like the main female lead in Banshees of Inisherin.
Mm-hmm.
She is now casted in the upcoming Star Wars show Skeleton Crew.
Ooh.
With Jude Law, and that has a bunch of the different directors, including the Daniels in it. So I'm really excited for that. She's a really good actress.
She's great, yeah.
So can't wait to see her in that.
Yeah.
I like that. I don't know. I feel like the Skeleton Crew, they're getting a lot of like serious kind of good directors and good actors for it. So, and the way I've heard it being described is like Goonies, Star Wars kind of.
Right, I've heard that too.
That's what I've heard. Andor season 2 will likely release late summer of next year. So late summer 2024. So I think that they finished filming for Andor. So I think they're in the editing process and everything now for that. So
I didn't watch season 1.
Bro, it's probably I think I don't know. I'm not sure in terms of like the major consensus on like Disney Plus shows in general in terms of how they rank, but I'd say Andor is a strong contender for the best Disney Plus show for sure.
Interesting.
It and Loki.
Right.
Very, very close probably for me, and I love Loki.
Yeah, Loki's great.
Kathleen Kennedy confirmed that Taika Waititi's Star Wars film is still going to happen. Okay. He's in like the writing process for it, and she said that she just wants to like leave him alone and like kind of let him take his like do his own thing with the film and see where it goes, you know.
Dudes heard that and they were like, "No,
no,
please."
I don't get why everyone turned on Taika Waititi so fast.
Yeah, one movie that is generally considered bad, and they were like, "Nope, not anymore."
To me, one okay movie in Thor Ragnarok was really great, and then Jojo Rabbit I've heard is amazing.
Bro. Jojo Rabbit is one of my favorite movies.
And that's like his 3 feature films, right?
Actually, I don't even think he has a bad one other than Love and Thunder. So he's got that Hunt for the Wilder People.
No, I haven't heard of that. Okay.
That was his debut, I believe.
Okay.
And that's pretty praised.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm honestly excited for his film because I don't know what they expect from it, and that's pretty exciting. Okay, yeah. So one of the heads of the Acolyte show, which is set, it's going to be the first project set before the prequels.
Right. So
it's gonna be the furthest back Star Wars project set.
Right.
And they actually dropped these an official timeline of eras in the Star Wars like canon or whatever.
That's cool.
But yeah, so this show is going to be set before all that, and the showrunner said it's very interesting. But he said that the show is Frozen meets Kill Bill.
What in the world is that description? That's a crazy description.
It's set in the High Republic,
okay,
which is a pretty esteemed era in the Star Wars community because a lot of big players go on in the High Republic and like in the comics and books and like in games and stuff like that as well.
Okay.
And there will also be a Wookiee Jedi.
Oh.
That was an interesting fact that they confirmed. The first like official Wookiee Jedi. The only other one that was close was there in Star Wars Rebels. There is a Wookiee that does wield a lightsaber, but he's not like a Jedi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But there will be a Wookiee Jedi in this one, so that'll be really cool.
Nice.
This is an interesting one. Rey will return and will rebuild the Jedi Order in a new Star Wars film set after the events of the sequel trilogy. Daisy Ridley's Rey returning in a Star Wars film.
Yeah, how are we feeling about that?
Okay. Um.
Yeah, take a sip of the water before you get down to this one.
Okay. So I think I could be willing to give Rey a second chance.
Okay.
I think. I think that a big problem with the sequel trilogy in general is how chaotic everything was with it. How they were switching J.J. Abrams. Oh, Ryan Johnson. Oh, J.J. Abrams. Yeah. Oh, what do the fans want? What do the fans want? They were so worried about that and stuff that it just caused a mess.
Right.
I don't think that Rey or Daisy Ridley specifically is like the problem necessarily.
Right.
More so the writing and stuff behind her. And she's only really bad, in my opinion, like truly bad in like the last movie. That's like where her character's like really bad.
Yeah, I think everybody's at their worst in that movie.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But before that, she's not horrible.
Mm-hmm.
It's honestly she's not bad at all in the first two movies because it's literally like she's nobody. That's like what The Last Jedi. That's what like the first two movies built up to was like that she was nobody, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that her parents were nothing, and that was kind of cool. I actually didn't mind that about The Last Jedi. Yeah. I won't lie.
I thought it was cool too, and I thought they were going to continue with that. But then,
and they ripped that right away.
Yeah.
Then, they were like, "Oh, she has to be connected to somebody." Because every fan after that movie came out was like, "No, bro, Rey has to be Obi-Wan's daughter or Anakin's surrogate child or something, man."
Has to be.
Anyway, I'm willing to give her a second chance. I don't think Daisy Ridley or Rey specifically were the problem with the sequel trilogy. Just make it good.
Yeah.
Make it good, you know?
Right, make it good.
And have fun with the yellow lightsaber, too, I guess.
Yeah.
I will say that was one of the... Even though it didn't make any sense.
Right.
It didn't make any sense at all, but it's cool, I guess. I honestly didn't mind her getting a yellow lightsaber that much. Like, I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
Give your protagonist a different colored lightsaber. That's fine.
Does it mean something?
Not really. It's like the only people that you have used like yellow lightsabers that I know of are like Jedi temple guards.
Okay.
Very specific. Like it's not like a popular color.
Yeah.
But I didn't really mind it, you know, because she built like the lightsaber out of her like staff parts. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And it was yellow. I can be objective about like the sequel trilogy in some points. Like there was some cool stuff, but the cool is very much overshadowed by the uncool stuff, you know?
Yes.
So,
very much so.
Have fun with the yellow lightsaber, make a good movie, and do it right. Yeah.
Yeah. I hope the next Rey appearance starts and she's like, "I'm Rey." And they're like, "Rey what? Skywalker?" And she's like, "Nah, I don't know what I was thinking."
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, they just retcon that ending. Bro, that would be perfect.
That would be hilarious. To make things in the new movies make sense, but also be like, yeah, they don't matter though.
Yeah. That's what I hope they do is kind of retcon the sequel trilogy, but also kind of like put a Band-Aid over it at the same time.
Right.
That's what I think that the Mandalorian's going for. The Mandalorian.
With the cloning.
Yeah, it's going to attempt to put a Band-Aid over the sequel trilogy, and then maybe they just retcon it with the Rey film.
Right.
You know, that'd be kind of cool.
Hey, maybe.
Some better Star Wars news, though. Donald Glover confirms that he's returning as Lando. It just needs to be the right way to... It just needs to be a right way to do it. So, he was in talks to... I think there was like a convention or some sort, because there was a bunch of Star Wars news. Some kind of Star Wars convention or something. But there are talks about him returning as Lando and stuff. And I'm thinking it's probably going to be a Lando solo project.
Probably, yeah.
Because that's like he's like a big character that hasn't really gotten it yet.
He's like one of the two black guys in Star Wars.
But honestly, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the Solo movie. You know, it has a lot of problems.
Yeah. I enjoyed it, but I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. So.
It's like that. It's like enjoyable, but it's not like... I don't think it holds a candle to some like the good Star Wars movies.
Right, yes.
But
it's fair.
one of the best things of the movie though was Donald Glover as Lando, in my opinion.
I thought he was great. Yeah.
And I am really excited to see like that be expanded upon in his own show or movie or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, Lando, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then the next oh bro, this one is epic. This is some dope news. So the director of Logan and Ford v Ferrari, James Mangold,
and Indiana Jones, the new one.
yeah, he has stated that he's coming out with a Star Wars film described as a biblical epic that tells the origin of the Jedi.
What an epic description.
It's been compared to the film The Ten Commandments. So it's literally like some origin to like the religion type stuff.
Yeah, biblically accurate Jedi.
Bro. That is like literally like, bro, that's perfect. They literally made a whole era before any of like this whole timeline.
Yeah.
It's literally just called like Before the Old Republic, which is like the last the like most furthest back republic or whatever. It's literally after that. It's just called like Before the Old Republic. Wow. And it's gonna be literally the origins of the Jedi. Bro, who doesn't want to see the origins of the Jedi?
Yeah, that sounds like a crazy.
And James Mangold?
Yeah.
This might be my most excited Star Wars project, honestly.
Right.
This and Andor Season 2 are probably like my most excited for projects.
Yeah. James Mangold has shown that he brings more of a realness and a kind of dramatic sense to more fantastic things like Logan.
Yeah.
And even Ford v Ferrari was a big epic film about a real life event.
Yeah.
And Indiana Jones looks like it's going to be much more dramatic, much more grounded than the other ones.
I'm actually really excited for it now that I know that James Mangold's directing, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's going to be so good.
Yeah.
And so is the Star Wars movie.
Star Wars is they're coming out with a whole bunch of stuff that sounds pretty good.
Looking up.
It's looking up. It really is. Well, we also got...
I think that's it for Star Wars news, right?
Yeah. I didn't have anything else for Star Wars. I had very little for Marvel this week.
Yeah.
But probably the most... Well, we can talk about... Guardians of the Galaxy dropped some posters. They dropped some posters that all highlighted Rocket specifically.
Yes.
We get it. We're going to cry. He's probably going to die. We get it, guys.
Yes.
Don't make us cry early.
But... Counterpoint.
Rocket
doesn't die.
Oh?
And he outlives everybody. He outlives literally the entire team.
Okay. Yeah. Is this you like with a real theory, or you're just being hopeful and gonna be upset?
Maybe me being hopeful, but I don't know. Either way, we know that there's gonna be deaths for sure.
For sure.
And it very much feels like they're like targeting Rocket specifically, with the posters and everything.
Feels like Dave Bautista's targeting himself.
Yeah, Dave Bautista's really been like...
He's like, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done, man. I want to get out of here. That's so basically what he's been like.
Said, please get me out of here. I don't want to do this anymore. But the recent posters that they've dropped have highlighted Rocket, which we know that it is going to be a more Rocket-centered story. I love that. Rocket's my favorite Guardian.
Yeah, for sure.
So they released those this week. Some other interesting news. James Gunn said that we are now more likely to get a Marvel vs. DC film.
Yes.
He actually said, this is the exact quote. He said, "I'm certain that's more likely now that I am in charge. Who knows? That's many years away, though. I think we have to establish why we're doing it first. I would be lying to say that we haven't discussed it. But all discussions have been very, very light and fun."
This is honestly super interesting in my opinion, and I've seen a lot of different opinions on the internet about this
specifically. I think it's only good, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, I don't see how that could be, how it's bad, you know?
Because it doesn't
Especially,
have to be
it
canon.
depends on how it's done, obviously. It
Right.
can't just be like, oh, they're just there, or like,
Yeah.
it just feels cheap or whatever. Do it like right. But imagine like a 4 hour epic or something of
But
just Marvel. There's a lot of different ways that they could do it. Like, is it going to be Marvel versus DC, or is it going to be like Marvel and DC heroes team up against like villains
I
type
hope it's
thing?
verse. I hope it's them
Like
fighting.
Marvel versus
Yeah,
DC.
because
That would be
it's
crazy,
it's
bro.
so much more interesting than, oh, all these superheroes team up.
Imagine they do like a
Like,
Marvel versus DC, but like they do it like with the multiverse kind of, so they bring back like variants. So
yeah.
like popular like past iterations of Marvel
So
characters
Toby,
meet like
Michael
DC characters.
Keaton.
Bro, Michael Keaton Batman fights the Vulture.
Bro fights the Vulture. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that'd be fun. That's hilarious.
Bro, just like cool stuff like that, bro.
Yeah, people that have played
And the
Ben Affleck.
interactions, bro. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that'd be so good.
Live action Spider-Man with Batman.
Christian Bale.
Oh my
Bro, Christian Bale and like Tobey Maguire together.
bro.
Because technically Christian Bale was like that era,
Yeah.
of Batman. Wow. Yeah, but this is a lot of possibilities, and the fact that James Gunn, who is the CEO of DC, is like, yeah, this can happen. You know,
That's exciting.
it's really exciting.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be canon. It can be something that Marvel and DC team up for once. Maybe they make a trilogy out of it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be canon to either of their universes,
Bro,
which is what's fun.
Imagine them doing some movies together that like bring like two like opposing fan like
Yeah, not
bases and
Snyder
stuff.
fans though.
Yeah.
Screw them.
Yeah, Snyder fans will always be like the cornered out
Yeah, get
ones or
them out of
whatever.
here. Yeah.
But that would be so dope to like bring two fan bases like both in the movie theater, you
I
know?
know.
Cuz it's like pure like, you know, like some like pure DC fans will only go watch DC movies. Some pure Marvel fans will only go watch Marvel movies
Yeah.
and not the other specifically because it's DC or specifically because it's Marvel.
Right.
But having one movie or multiple movies or whatever that they can actually go and all sit in one theater together, that'd be really, really dope, I think.
I think it'd be so cool. Yeah.
And it definitely opens up a lot of opportunities, like you said, with Gunn being ahead of DC now
Mm-hmm.
and him being on good terms with, you know,
Kevin
Marvel and
Kevin
stuff.
Feige, yeah, in
Yeah.
general, yeah. Yeah. It's possible and it's very exciting. I had one more
Very.
piece of news here.
Okay.
Was the Across the Spider-Verse trailer.
Yes.
And we got a in-universe MCU reference.
Yeah.
We got a reference. He says like Little Nerd and Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
And I think the most interesting part about it is that they call the main MCU timeline 199999.
Yes. So they contradict
Multiverse of Madness.
yeah, Multiverse of Madness,
Yeah.
who established it as 616, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And Kevin Feige as well, who
Yeah.
alluded to it being 616. Or has he just straight up said that it's
He
616?
straight up said it, but like it's even been alluded to in Far From Home
Yeah.
when Mysterio's like, this one is 616.
So it's
yeah.
it's very interesting though, because like, why? I don't know. I just don't understand why they're different. Maybe they'll explain in the movie, obviously.
Yeah, maybe.
But I don't know. It's interesting that they made the distinct differentiation, you know, between the two numbers and stuff.
It's weird because obviously people are like, well, the 616 universe is the comic universe, and so the MCU can't be 616. But I don't
That's
understand.
what Miss Marvel's actor said, right?
Yeah, which, whatever. But I don't understand why it can't be separate things. Like, the movie multiverse and the comics multiverse can be different.
Yeah, that's what I think as well.
And like Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, when they're like traveling through the different universes, there is like an animated, like a comic version of their universe.
Yeah.
But just because that is there doesn't mean it's not the main universe that we watch.
Yeah, and I don't think that was intended to be like, oh, that's the main comic universe.
Right, yeah.
You know, that was just intended to be like, oh, that's just an animated universe.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably, most likely just an animated variation of the same universe, you know,
Right.
of their, yeah, of the Earth that they came from and everything, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it looks really good though. The
Oh
movie as a
yeah. Oh
whole
my
looks
gosh.
incredible.
The animation,
Yeah.
it's looking great.
All they've done is just up what the first one did.
Dude, the animation looks better than the
It looks
first one, and the first one's one of the best animated movies ever.
Yeah,
Like
literally of all time.
it possibly is like for a lot of people I know is like for sure number one.
Yeah.
And this one, it looks better. So
Yeah.
yeah,
It's looking good, and they said that the Spot, who's played by Jason Schwartzman, was going to be the main villain, but it's looking more like 2099 is going to be Miguel O'Hara is going to be the villain,
yeah,
played by Oscar
he looks
Isaac.
mad, man.
Yeah,
His fangs.
his fangs. He's juiced.
Oh, dude, you see him like get jacked?
Yeah,
Bro, you see like have you seen a side by side comparison of like the post credit scene
Yeah.
one to compared to bro? He's literally like jacked.
he's
now.
a twerp in the first one.
Yeah.
He's tiny, and in the new one he's a behemoth.
Yeah, and they changed the suit around a little bit
Mm-hmm.
too. But it's all looking great, man. The movie, it looks so good. It looks like a comic book come to life.
Just like the first one.
It's-
It looks beautiful.
It's insane.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Definitely gonna be another banger.
For sure. I also got a tad bit, just not much, but I got one bit of Marvel news and one bit of DC news.
Okay,
So
yeah.
Marvel news I got is Morena Baccarin, who portrayed Vanessa in
Yes.
the first two Deadpool films, will be returning for Deadpool 3, or well, she's in talks to return. But or let's just has confirmed. Okay, she confirmed that she's in talks.
She's confirmed that she's in talks to be in
Okay,
Deadpool 3.
so she's probably gonna be in Deadpool 3.
She's
So.
probably going to be in Deadpool
yeah.
3, yeah.
And then the DC is James Mangold has been confirmed to write and direct Swamp Thing
Oh, wow.
per James Gunn.
Man, this man has been Marvel, Star Wars, and DC. Like the big three.
Let's go,
Man,
man.
if Nintendo gets their universe going.
I wasn't even that like hyped for a Swamp Thing movie, but I kind of am
Right?
now that James
Yeah,
Mangold's
now I
behind
am.
it. Yeah,
Wow.
for sure, man.
James Mangold on that. Oh, and Indiana Jones, man. Everything. He's just
getting
on
that
top.
check.
Yeah. He's getting that big check.
He's getting that bag, my boy.
He got
Let's
that
go.
Marvel, Star Wars, DC checks. Wow. Well, I think that's all the news we have for this week. Unless you had something else.
No, I got a decent amount or more. I don't gotta go through all of it 'cause some of it's just like nonsense. But I'll go through some of the. It's all like movie related
Yeah,
stuff.
sure.
The John Wick spinoff Ballerina film, which is led by Ana de Armas, is gonna release next summer, June 7th apparently. So it has like a release date finally.
Okay.
And it has a bunch of people in the cast. It still had Keanu Reeves in the cast, which is interesting.
Yeah.
I think that maybe be because it could be like set before.
Yeah,
I
probably
heard
is.
something that it might be set between like 3 and 4 or between like 2 and 3, something like that.
Give us a hint where John was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
James Mangold
Bruh, no way.
says his Bob Dylan biopic starring Timothy Chalamet begins filming in August. Chalamet will also do the singing, will do his own singing in the
Right.
film. Yeah.
Wow.
James Mangold making a biopic on Bob Dylan. So
Okay.
he's making a lot of stuff.
Dude, James Mangold he's got a busy schedule.
yeah,
for
bro.
the next
He's
couple
working
years,
for sure. Jack Black, who
Okay.
most recently voiced Bowser in the Super Mario movie.
Oh, that Jack Black.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Okay.
He was recently praising The Last of Us for video game
Saw
adaptations.
that, yeah.
And he said that he wants to see Red Dead Redemption be adapted to the big screen.
Wow.
So yeah, I thought that was a little fun tidbit there.
Yeah. I think it definitely needs to be.
Oh yeah, for sure. The Minecraft movie starring Jason Momoa will be released in theaters April 4th, 2025. So about 2 years from now.
Yeah. Like
And it's live action.
Yeah,
The Minecraft movie starring Jason Momoa is live action.
bro. Jason Momoa, Steve, live action. Got
Bro,
tight jeans.
this will be awful, probably.
It'll either be the worst movie you've ever seen or one of the best you've
Bro,
ever seen.
imagine they make like a really good like horror survival
I think
Minecraft movie.
it's funny, but I honestly think if they do it right,
I
it
just
can
don't
be
know why
good.
they said live action specifically. Why make that distinction?
Because if you say Minecraft movie, people might just think it's animated. I mean, you
That's
might,
what I'm thinking.
but
Do an animated Minecraft
but the thing
movie.
is Minecraft it's animated and it's
Yeah.
scary in its animation. But what would it look like real? How it already feels scary
Yeah.
and it's very
Dude, I guess, bro. Okay, so this is like, I guess the crazy part is like, if they're doing live action Minecraft, you have to do a live action. Like, you're not gonna have like a blocky Minecraft pig, right? You're gonna have a real pig.
right. That's true.
So you're gonna do that for like an Enderman or like a creeper.
Yeah, they're all gonna look
They're gonna probably
horrific.
Yeah, they're they're gonna be nightmare fuels. Oh my
Definitely gonna be
gosh.
nightmare fuel.
Oh gosh.
It's either gonna be a great movie or an absolutely
Yeah,
terrible
terrible
movie.
one.
I think they should lean into the cheese. I think they should
Yeah.
be like, I'm Steve and I'm stuck out here in the woods.
For sure.
Yeah,
It'll be interesting too, cause like, who else is really gonna be in the cast?
nobody.
Like, are you just gonna cast random people to be villagers?
Well, I heard Steve Carell is in it as a villager.
Bro, that's with the nose. That's
Yeah.
actually so perfect. Oh my gosh. But anyways, Russell Crowe recently spoke to Ryan Gosling apparently about doing The Nice Guys 2. And
Oh.
they're even so close as to workshopping titles. So
Wow.
it sounds like they're pretty confident this is happening. I haven't seen the first Nice Guys, but I saw your review on it and stuff.
Nice Guys is. I'm actually going to talk about a film that's kind of like Nice Guys. It's made by Guy Ritchie
Okay.
as well. And, dude, The Nice Guys is fantastic. It's
Okay.
incredible. Yeah.
I'm excited to watch it because I like Russell Crowe, I like Ryan Gosling, and a sequel that sounds pretty
good.
dope as well. Keanu Reeves is gonna star in an Apple TV film called Outcome, and the Jonah Hill is set to direct the film.
Wow.
So Keanu Reeves is teaming up with Jonah Hill as a director. It follows a damaged Hollywood star who must confront the demons of his past and make amends after he is extorted with a mysterious video clip from his past. I copy and pasted that from.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like John Wick almost a little bit. Like just like
Kinda,
guy
yeah.
who has dark past is coming back.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Okay, so here's some Marvel news, but this is kind of like just film news too.
Okay.
Russell Crowe has teased that Sony's Kraven the Hunter movie will be unexpectedly dark.
Bro, I think
I
it's
feel like
going
they
to
said
be
that about Morbius as well.
Yeah. I think it's going to be expectedly trash is what it's going to be. That's what it's
Expectedly trash.
Yeah, it's going to be
For
awful.
sure.
I hope I'm wrong, but I honestly
I actually like Kraven the Hunter. That's what.
Yeah. But it sucks because he needs to be in a Spider-Man movie. What are all these villains doing without
Aaron
Spider-Man?
Taylor Johnson isn't okay. I'll give this to Aaron Taylor Johnson. Not the worst Kraven the Hunter casting. I don't think.
Especially
not
after
the
Bullet
best.
Train.
Yeah, especially after Bullet Train. Not the best, but
Right.
not the worst. And
Yeah.
also, apparently, Russell Crowe is going to be in the movie as well. I didn't know
He
if
plays
you
his
knew that.
dad, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so Russell Crowe's going to be in it as well. That'll be interesting to see.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to watch it,
Yeah.
but I'm not expecting a lot.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone is.
Either, yeah.
There was a first look at a new Apple TV series called The Crowded Room, starring Tom Holland and Amanda Seyfried.
Yes.
Comes out June 9th.
That looks pretty good.
Yeah, it honestly looks pretty good. Set in the 70s, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like Amanda Seyfried is like Tom Holland's like therapist.
Yeah.
In some sort of like mental or prison confinement
Yeah.
place or whatever.
You know what's funny is Tom Holland the worry was like he didn't want to be typecast as someone who's like Spider-Man all the time.
Yeah.
But what's funny is that he now has two typecasts, and it's adventure, jokey kind of kid character
Yeah.
and insane kid character.
Yeah.
Which Cherry, Devil All the Time,
The Crowded Room.
Crowded Room.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he kind of got himself stuck into another
Yeah.
stereotype.
But honestly, I honestly would at least prefer him to pump out the Spider-Man content, that being like the Goody image and stuff like that.
Yes.
And I guess if they are still doing the Uncharted movies, I'm not real sure if they're gonna continue it.
Not expecting.
But and then have your side stuff besides the Marvel stuff be like the insane stuff. At least show some range, you know. Don't just be like only good guy, only action hero the entire time or something. Don't be like a Chris Pratt, you know.
Don't be a Chris Pratt, yeah.
And Chris Pratt's not a bad actor, but
no, yeah.
he was even a pretty good voice actor in the Mario movie.
Yeah.
But you know, he does way too many action hero roles and stuff like that. I think everyone knows that. Ridley Scott's Napoleon film which is an Apple TV Plus movie, comes out November 22nd on this year, which it comes out in theaters because Apple they're supporting the cinemas and stuff this year.
Nice.
So yeah, so it's coming out in theaters November 22nd. That's the same month as Dune Part 2 and stuff like that. And Joaquin Phoenix is playing Napoleon. Yeah.
Interesting. It's an interesting choice.
Yeah, it's a Ridley Scott epic. And honestly, I'm kind of excited for that. I think that could be pretty good.
Yeah.
I think that could be pretty good. Shailene Woodley, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and Richard Madden have all been cast in Killer Heat, a love triangle thriller film that follows twin brothers who are caught in a violent love triangle on a remote Greek island. Honestly, I only put this one in here because I'm excited for Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, which is funny because we were just talking about how he hasn't been in anything recently.
Yeah. And also hilarious. Richard Madden, that's cool.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
Shailene Woodley, that's cool. Yeah. Sounds interesting. Harry Potter reboot is in the works at HBO.
No way.
Yeah.
That's honestly insane.
It will apparently be a 7-season show covering a season per book.
What?
Because there's 8 movies, right? But you know, A Deathly Hallows is split into 2 movies. Yeah. There's only 1 book, so they're gonna do a show, and it's gonna 1 season per book. What? And also, J.K. Rowling, despite the controversies, is going to be helping with the show. She's going to be involved with the show. Her name will be somewhere in the credits of the show.
What is happening right now? Why is this happening?
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest, man. I think my world is crumbling. That Daniel Radcliffe won't be the only Harry Potter in my mind anymore. Like,
this shouldn't be happening.
That's a problem.
I think the fact that they think that they need to redo the most successful book to movie franchise of all time.
Yeah.
That's great. They don't need to do this, and I don't want them to do this.
It's too soon.
Yeah.
Bro, the last Harry Potter movie, I know it feels like, especially like the beginning Harry Potter movies, they feel like they came out a long time ago because they kind of did.
Yeah.
But
the last one came out.
The last like actual, not like Fantastic Beasts movie, but the last like actual Harry Potter movie, it was like 2013 or something like that.
It was 11, yeah.
Yeah, 2011, yeah. Not that long ago, you know?
It really wasn't.
Really didn't need a remake. And a show is very interesting to be doing a show.
Dude.
Who are you casting, bro? What kid is gonna be Harry Potter, bro?
What kids are you gonna torture online?
But you know what's funny is like it's like Daniel Radcliffe had to go through this thing like to like a lower extent, I think. Yeah. When he was like, even though it was still big then, you know, in the 90s or whatever, late 90s getting cast, who's gonna be Harry Potter? Because it had that book following, mainly in England, you know, it didn't blow up worldwide that much yet.
Yeah.
This kid, bro. He's literally got to be a child actor who grows up with the show, which I imagine that's what they're going for, because that's what part of the big charm with the Harry Potter movies is that the kids grow up throughout the movies, right? I imagine they're going to try and do the same thing for the show. So you got to get a kid actor who's going to be Harry Potter, who's literally like world renowned at this point. And everybody has one face as Harry Potter in their mind. Almost everybody has Daniel Radcliffe's face as Harry Potter. So it's going to be huge. And it's not only Harry Potter though. That it's kind of like that for every character.
Every character, yeah.
Ron, Hermione, the whole Weasley family, Malfoy, all the teachers, Snape, Dumbledore. Even though there literally are two different Dumbledores in the Potter movies,
but it's different.
Both are still recognizable though. In like,
it's different because they play the same Dumbledore. It's just two different actors. This is literally a reboot. This is a new take on it. But it's gonna be the same thing. I mean, you can't.
And the problem is like a lot of the like negative discourse around the film is like, oh, they're gonna make it woke, man. They're gonna make Dumbledore black, bro. No one cares.
It doesn't matter.
That's not what the issue is at all. The issue is that it doesn't need to be made.
The issue is, it's not, oh, a character might be black.
Yeah.
It's that the show shouldn't be made at all.
It just shouldn't be made.
Yeah.
And J.K. Rowling especially shouldn't be on the show.
Should not be attached to this.
But anyway, man, I'm not the most hyped for that.
No,
but
not at all.
I won't lie. I would be lying if I wasn't saying that I'm like not interested, because I'm definitely gonna watch. I'm gonna watch a Harry Potter show. Yeah,
highly doubt I'm going to.
I'm gonna watch it, but I'm not expecting. I'm not expecting the movies. That's for sure.
That's bro. Rest in peace to the kid that plays Harry Potter in this show, because he will be death threats.
Oh,
there will be death threats.
He will be torn to shreds. Man, I actually feel bad for whoever that's gonna be.
Knowing Harry Potter fans, these kids will not want to be these characters before the show even starts filming.
They're gonna be bro. A show? They're gonna be so lucky to get through a show, bro.
One season,
bro.
They're gonna be Well,
especially now, because we're gonna know who Harry Potter is months before the show comes out.
Yeah. So
that's gonna be crazy, man.
Months to be torn to shreds.
But HBO, Warner Brothers doing their Disney, doing their Disney impression.
That's good. Yeah,
they really are though.
They are.
Anyway, better news. Okay. Way better news.
Okay.
The final movie in the I don't know exactly what this trilogy is called, but the Pearl X and soon to be Maxine trilogy.
I'd call it the X trilogy.
The X trilogy, T West horror movie,
the Mia
Goth trilogy, whatever.
Yeah.
The cast of the next movie, Maxine, has been announced. Mia Goth, obviously, returning. Musician Halsey is going to be in the movie. I don't know if you know about who Halsey is.
Interesting.
She's going to be in the movie. Lily Collins.
That's
Phil Collins' daughter.
Yeah.
She'll be in the movie. Two little like name guys that you might not have heard of. Kevin Bacon. He's gonna be appearing in Maxine. Oh, and Giancarlo Esposito.
Oh my!
Is gonna be in Maxine.
What?
Giancarlo Esposito. Apparently, he's gonna play like a like her agent or something like that.
Bro, this sounds good.
Bro,
this sounds good.
I'm loving that.
Yeah, this is gonna be a banger for sure.
That's gonna be awesome.
Yep.
And then I got little throwaway kind of just whatever news. The Gorge, Scott Derrickson's The Gorge, starring Anya Taylor-Joy, Miles Teller, and Sigourney Weaver, is currently filming. The film is described as a genre-bending love story.
Interesting.
The only reason why I put this one on here is because I wanted to say that I always like I always don't know what to think about films that are described as like genre bending.
Yeah, because they're never genre bending.
Like a genre bending love story. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Like how are you bending? Are you bending the romance genre? How?
He's a horror director, so is it bending a horror genre?
Not a bad cast. Anya Taylor-Joy, Miles Teller, Sigourney Weaver. I mean, the film is called The Gorge. That sounds kind of like a horror title to me.
Yeah. So
I could definitely see it being a horror movie, especially if he's a horror director, like you said. Yeah. But yeah, I just thought I'd throw that one in there.
Yeah. Well, that was way more news than I thought.
Yeah, that was a lot of news.
Actually, that's about an hour's worth of news. Usually we have... I thought we didn't have that much news this week, but usually we have about 20 minutes at most. Of
Dang,
news.
my bad.
No, you're cool. Hey, the more news is good. It does not matter.
Okay.
But now we can get into the stuff that we saw. We did watch
yes.
Mandalorian this week, so we have those 2 episodes to talk about.
Yep.
And
Let's
we
get it.
also saw the Mario movie.
Oh,
Super
yes.
Mario Brothers movie. Let's talk about Mandalorian first.
Oh, yeah.
So, Mandalorian episode 5 was about the pirates that we saw in episode 1 coming back and kind of taking over Grief Karga's planet. I don't know.
Yeah,
if that,
I forget the name of it.
yeah. But it was a good story. It was a good little adventure.
it was alright.
Showing the peace between the Mandalorians and that planet.
Yeah. And then, like, the Mandalorians getting, like, their own home or whatever. That was cool.
Yeah. I also like that. Well, I like it, but at the same time, it's clear that there is no. It doesn't feel like that there's a story in this season at all, especially now that we're 6 episodes in. But it seems more like it's just they're mainly focusing on the small adventures instead, while having little character developments.
Yeah.
And if I'm being honest, it's not bad, but I do wish there was an overarching plot.
Yeah. Honestly, I've jumped ship from my Bo-Katan is going to be like the villain.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening.
Because I think, okay, I'll say this. I think that would have been a good thing to do because it would have gave the show some direction, I think.
Yes.
But they're not doing that. That's pretty obvious.
It's pretty obvious that they're not going to make Bo-Katan a villain
there's only
now.
like 2 episodes left.
There's only 2, yeah.
Yeah.
They're not going to make her turn 2 episodes. Well, I hope not, but...
Yeah, but like you said, it's been more focused on the singular adventures and stuff like that. 5, I don't know, 5 was okay. There were definitely the best things I thought were like the interactions like with the Mandalorians and like integrating them back into like the society, I guess, and stuff, and the Mandalorians helping out the people and stuff. Right. That's really cool.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Episode 6, personally, my favorite episode so far. Purely because of 2 cameos, and that is Christopher Lloyd and Jack Black.
Yes.
Incredible. Also, Lizzo's in it, but whatever. She was all right. She was fine.
I honestly didn't think she was bad.
She's not bad, but it wasn't like, oh my gosh, Lizzo's in this.
I'm just glad that they didn't like try to like, I don't know, make her out there that much.
Like put her in the forefront.
Like people were complaining a lot about the episode. Like they did kind of do that to her. Like they kind of like made Jack Black and look, it's Jack Black and Lizzo. That's how people are kind of like processing and like interpreting it at least.
I mean, yeah, they're the guests on the show that you're gonna see.
I literally saw someone on Twitter literally goes, Star Wars isn't for nerds anymore. It's for popular kids that shove people in lockers. because of Jack Black.
Jack Black is not a bully
guy. I don't know. I actually like the actor cameos in episode 6.
Yeah, Jack Black weirdly he plays a weird British version of himself. But he weirdly fit. Like he felt like a Star Wars kind of
like a Star Wars kind of lord or whatever. Yeah.
Of course, he in real life is like a weird Star Wars character, but in the show itself, I like that he did a little silly little accent. He was like, "Here on Plaza 15," you know. I like that he actually did something. He didn't just do his normal voice.
Yeah, Christopher Lloyd was there.
Christopher Lloyd was good. He was fun. He was clearly having fun. You know,
it was I don't know. 6 was a fun episode to me.
It was. It was the most enjoyable one so far, I think.
Like, bro, I literally when I saw Jack Black, bro, I was like, oh. And we saw him. Yeah, I guess we should mention we both saw Mando episode 6 right before we saw the Mario movie.
Like an hour before we went to go see Mario.
So we saw Jack Black, in Star Wars, and then we saw him in the Mario movie.
Yeah, exactly.
It was a Jack Black day for sure.
Personally, I think he was better in one over the other. But, that'll be discussed in a minute.
Yeah, in a minute.
No, but the episodes I think were pretty good overall. 6 better than 5.
Yeah.
But I think the show is clearly...
It doesn't have direction.
Directionless. Yeah, it's clearly directionless.
It doesn't have a purpose right now.
And while that's not a bad thing, I think it's not being handled the best.
It needs to gain some,
Yeah. Because it can be...
How are you going to end it?
Like, yeah.
I will say the one thing that they've tried, that they've kind of built up, but they haven't really taken it all the way with yet, is Moff Gideon returning. But
Yeah.
that's like the only kind of overlying thing that connects episode to episode. You know, is
Right,
that oh,
yes.
Moff Gideon might return, and then
Might be
they kind
back.
of ignore it for like an episode.
Mhm.
Now, some people say that that's the problem with like them having different directors on every episode or whatever. I personally don't think that's the issue
I don't
because
think
one, they did
that's...
that for season one,
And it's
and season
amazing.
one's one of the most like acclaimed like Disney shows out there.
It's like number one to most people. Yeah.
Yeah, and plenty of other shows have
Right.
done. I'm pretty sure Breaking Bad has different directors on some
Oh,
episodes and
yeah,
stuff. So
definitely.
that's not really a point
It's
to
not.
make.
Yeah.
It just seems like they just don't have their purpose.
Right.
I think they should have went Bo-Katan evil route. It would have been cool if she like sparked another civil war
Yeah.
amongst the Mandalorians. I thought that's kind of there was literally one episode where like part of the episode I was like, oh, she might be moving against the chick or whatever.
Was it when she was like, "I've never seen a mythical,
Yeah,
but you have," or
yeah.
whatever? That I was like, "Oh,
And then the gold helmet chick was just kind of like, oh yeah, you're the leader now. They all
yeah."
follow you. I was like, oh, okay.
I was like, "Oh, is there like a rivalry that's gonna
Yeah.
brew?" No, it was like, "You're the leader now."
Yeah. Oh, well,
Just willingly hands leadership.
I guess we
Okay.
should also talk about how Mando gave up the dark saber as well to
Felt
to
very in
Bo-Katan as well.
character. I
Yeah,
think.
I honestly didn't dislike that much.
I didn't either.
I also though I wish that they didn't get rid of all of Mando's like cool weapons and stuff though
Yeah,
from
now
like
he
the
has-
previous seasons.
Yeah, he's
Or do you remember his like sniper blaster that he had in like
my
season one?
gosh.
That was like the
I
coolest.
forgot about that.
That was like the coolest blaster ever, bro.
Where does Spear go?
I have no idea where her spear went, bro.
I'm just now
The
in this
Beskar
moment.
spear.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just now in this moment remembering that he had a spear.
Bro, you remember that fight with Moff Gideon with the spear?
It's a great fight. Yeah.
Bro, where'd that go?
What happened?
They got to bring that back.
Yeah,
I
this
think.
is like no, like but like actually, where did it go? Like because it's not talked about. It's not like well, I just
And he
put
doesn't
it out.
have it like on his back or anything.
Yeah.
I think I don't remember it getting destroyed.
It's Beskar. I don't think
And
it's getting
I don't remember
destroyed.
his what's it called? I don't remember his blaster getting destroyed either.
Sniper
yeah,
or the black.
the
Yeah.
sniper. Yeah,
I don't think it did. I think they literally just introduced these things and they were like,
he's got to have a new weapon every season.
Yeah,
new
there's-
toys to sell.
yeah,
that's kind of
toys.
that's kind of how it feels.
But it's weird because I feel like they should just you can obviously give him a new weapon each time and sell more toys.
And keep the old ones.
and keep
you know?
the old ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
I'm kind of hoping they just bring him back, honestly. Bring back the old weapons.
Yeah.
I don't mind him giving up the Darksaber. The Darksaber is cool.
Yeah.
And, I guess Bo-Katan actually, they kind of made their little loophole or whatever that she technically deserves the dark.
Oh,
she technically
yeah.
is rightful to the Darksaber or whatever. That's cool, I guess.
I guess.
Didn't mind it.
Yeah. Well, it's still going. We
Yeah.
get two more episodes.
2 more episodes.
2 more episodes. It might wrap up.
I hope
pretty
they land
nicely.
on their feet. I'm hoping so.
I think they kind of.
Do you think we see Moff Gideon?
Do I think that we will?
Yeah, in the next 2 episodes, maybe.
I think we'll see him in 8, maybe.
Okay,
I
maybe
actually,
set up season 4, maybe.
Well, here's the thing. I'm actually thinking that Moff Gideon will probably be like a post-credit tease at the end of the 3rd season.
Okay.
Because they've put themselves in a trap here. So they went 1 season, 2 season, both are pretty good. Season 3, they realized, oh, we have to finish out this trilogy season now. So they did season 3. They don't really have that much plot to do.
Yeah.
Because they're doing a movie. Did you hear about that?
No, I didn't hear
They're
it.
doing a movie that culminates the Mandalorian universe. So all the characters that we've met in the Mandalorian, Ahsoka, all
Yeah.
them, they're doing a movie. So I think Moff Gideon will be the villain of the movie, and all these guys that we've met through the Mandalorian show will come in and fight off Moff Gideon one more time. And I think that's what they're going to do. Because they are doing... The movie is confirmed. They have talked about that.
That's interesting.
Yeah. But that's kind of what I think is going on right now. I think 3, they kind of were like, well, we got to do 3 but we don't really have anything for it. So, yeah. Well, before we talk about the Mario movie, I had a small bit of something interesting that I saw about John Leguizamo, who played Luigi in the original 1993 Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah.
It says, original Super Mario Brothers Luigi actor refuses to watch animated movie. He says, and I quote, "I will not be watching Super Mario Bros. They could have included a Latin character. Like I was groundbreaking, and then they stopped the groundbreaking. They messed up the inclusion. They disincluded," says John Leguizamo. I would like to point out that none of the characters in the Mario universe are Latin of any kind of descent. And he was casted as Mario, and that was the weird thing, was that he was Latin.
I want to make the distinction that his statement is also wrong in itself, because Anya Taylor-Joy is Latina.
Yes, yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, but she's white, but she's Latina.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry that you think that white people can't be born in wherever
she was literally born in Spain, I think.
Spain, yeah.
I think. Yeah.
White people can be born in Spain. Chinese people can be born in Spain.
Or it might have been, I'm not sure.
Argentina?
It's wherever. Yeah, no, it actually is Argentina, I think.
Yeah, somewhere.
I think it is Argentina.
The Spanish.
And
country.
But she's literally Latina, and he's like, no Latin characters, even though, like you said, none of the Super Mario characters are.
Yeah.
It's like what Italians and white people, basically.
White Brooklyn trash is what they are.
Yeah.
No, that's literally what Mario and Luigi are. They're Italian American plumbers from Brooklyn. And he was the odd one out when he was first casted as Luigi.
Guess he didn't get the memo there.
I guess not. Anyways,
I would not be watching the Mario movie.
Don't really care about you.
I cannot imagine you buying a ticket and sitting down to the Mario movie anyway.
I can't either. It's kind of weird that you would defend the movie that you had such an awful time making, by the way. Anyways, I guess now we can jump into our Mario talk. So
Mario review.
Let's jump on into that.
Yeah.
So moving on now. We have a couple of guests today. We have our friend Raven and our friend Brennan. I use the term friend lightly because technically we're both related to them.
Yeah.
But today we're going to be talking about the Mario movie with them. We saw it. We loved it. Yep. I think it's safe to say we all loved it, right? We all had a good time with it.
Yeah, it was peak cinema.
Peak cinema?
Sure. Yeah, peak
as Luigi says, cinema. Yeah,
it was good.
Well, we're just gonna give our thoughts and opinions on this movie, and then we'll play a game afterwards. We'll play a little bit of a Mario quiz. So starting off, I'll ask our friends here today. What did you like most about the movie?
I think just a lot like the little Easter eggs that they had in it, just as far as even just the music, background.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed all the little Easter eggs as well. I thought it was a nice throwback to the Mario 64 game when they threw Bowser from his tail. I wish they would have had the saying though when he did throw him.
So long, Gay Bowser.
Yeah, so long,
I wish
Gay
he
Bowser.
said so long, Gay Bowser, but he didn't.
I thought it was really good. The visuals were really nice. The animation team went crazy, insane. The soundtrack was really well done. Voice acting was shockingly pretty well, honestly.
No problems with the voice acting, yeah. I think probably the standouts were obviously Jack Black and Charlie Day and Keegan-Michael Key as Toad were definitely the standouts. But I think we got to talk about Chris Pratt. What did you guys think of Chris Pratt? This is the topic.
I thought Chris Pratt actually killed it. I think it actually sounded better in the movie than it did in the trailers, actually. I think it sounded more polished.
For me, with movies, I always base it off of, especially with, animated movies, I base it on, how well they're able to just, pull me into the story, pull me into the character, especially when it's such a popular character like Mario. Chris Pratt definitely did a good job of, you didn't actually have to think, oh, is Chris Pratt doing a good job? It's Chris Pratt doing it.
Right.
It's you could just watch it and, you're convinced that it's just Mario. So, in my opinion, just based on that, he did a really good job, staying true to the character.
Yeah, and I think it's a little different for specifically me and you. I'm pointing at Brennan right now. We have a history with Mario that not a lot of people have, and it's not game based. It's surprisingly not game based. Yeah, he's pointing at Bowser right now. We have our little plushies all set up here. We had as children, we played with our Mario plushes a lot, and we watched plush videos, quote unquote famous YouTubers that were much more famous at the time were like Super Mario Logan and Cute Mario Bros. Don't laugh. Don't laugh at that. don't laugh at my childhood.
That was peak YouTube. What are you laughing at?
But we grew up with Mario sounding like a normal dude. Like I think, and I don't know if that's how you feel about it. This is how I feel about it. But I feel like Mario having a normal voice just feels normal to me. I don't need the Yahoo! Yeah, I don't need that, because as long as they give hints to that, it still feels fine to me.
I think what really helped, especially with Chris Pratt's voice feeling more natural, even for the bigger audience besides just me and you, was the fact that they used his iconic voice more in a advertisement way within the movie with his commercial. So it made it seem like it was more of a persona than actual Mario.
Yeah. I love the ad at the beginning that they obviously released, but it's so, the references are amazing in this movie. I really liked Donkey Kong came out to the DK rap. DK. I don't know. It felt very alive, and it's probably the best video game movie. I think that's safe to say that it's probably the best video game movie. Would you say that's probably on par with like how good Last of Us is?
I would probably say it's a better video game adaptation. It's hard for me to be like,
I know.
Oh, The Last of Us is like on par with like Mario or whatever, because like they're literally like the exact opposite in terms of like tone and stuff like that. But in terms of video game adaptation, I would say the Mario franchise did a better job of adapting the content in the video game into the adaptation. Yeah.
And as far as like adaptations go, I feel like comparing like the Mario movie and The Last of Us, it's two really different bags. Because like The Last of Us it really is true to the material. It's like it's just making what was on in the game with real people. But the Mario movie is much more of a fan service kind of movie, where it's like they're obviously adapting everything into their own little story, with hints and Easter eggs and references to all of the games and all that. So it's like I think they both probably do the best job at what they're trying to do.
I think that's a good way to put it. I think that the best thing that you could compare this movie to video game wise is probably like the Sonic movie. Because did you see the Sonic? Have you seen any of the Sonic movies?
Yeah, I watched the first one. I thought it was like okay.
The second one is way better. The second one is better as a Sonic movie.
I've never been that big on Sonic anyways.
That's fair.
It's just like it just never really piqued my interest. Mm-hmm. But I mean, knowing what I know of Sonic, it's like the movie was just kind of like it was good for what it was.
You saw both Sonic movies, right?
Yeah.
And what would you how did those stack up against this?
For me, I think the Sonic movies are really good. My only nitpick with the Sonic movies that I think the Mario movie handled better was that the Mario movie didn't take place in like the human overworld. That took place in the fantasy world of Mario in the Mushroom Kingdom and whatnot. Whereas Sonic, instead of taking place in like the green grass hills or whatever, it takes place in our world, and it just feels kind of off-putting sometimes.
It takes place in like L.A.
Yeah, or like New York or something.
Yeah, and I think it handles it fine. It's just that it is the fact that it is like in a human world the entire time.
It gives a different feel to it, almost like it's not really like almost in a way that's not. It is a video game movie, but it makes it tries to make it feel like it's not a video game movie.
Yeah,
this is gonna be a weird comparison, but. Kind of like it kind of just the way you described it. It reminds me of kind of like the two the two main like SpongeBob movies, just because, you know, like at least like advertisement wise, for like the Sponge Out of Water one, it's like it's them trying to interact with the actual human world and everything around them. They have to make jokes around that, but the whole first movie deals a lot more just it's your SpongeBob humor.
Right.
It's like I feel like in a way it's just like you're able to make a little bit better of a movie when you stick to the source material, when you put the characters in the setting that they're best known for.
Yeah. Like
taking the characters out, you know, like out of their element and putting them somewhere different, you almost have to reinvent it in a way.
Right. I think as a movie, Mario still works. I think it definitely still is as strong as a movie. But if you're going into this movie expecting like Martin Scorsese dialogue and storytelling, don't go into this movie expecting that.
It's just fan service.
It is truly a fan service film. It puts Mario fans first. And obviously there were a bunch of kids in our theater. Kids were laughing. They loved it clearly, but it was not made for them. It was made for us. And it's little kids don't watch this movie. You're not allowed to. You're not allowed to watch this movie because I said so. It's my movie.
I'm gatekeeping. It's mine now.
Yeah, gatekeeping my Mario movie.
My Mario
They made
movie.
this movie for us four.
Us specifically. No one else. Everyone else that was there should have been kicked out. I don't know what they was doing.
Just should not have been in the theater at all.
If you didn't have to hide a DS under your pillow at night to hide it, you can't watch the Mario movie.
Yeah.
We all had a DS at night. We all had to hide it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep. Let's. I want to talk about maybe some things that didn't quite land. Maybe for us. I know what didn't land for me exactly. But I want to see what each of you think. So I'll start with you, co-host. what did you think didn't really land?
I will agree. I think that the most widespread complaint that I've seen is about the fast pacing that the movie has, and I definitely think you feel that in like the first like half hour or 45 minutes or so. The movie like definitely wants to get to the point of what it's trying to tell and stuff, which is okay. It doesn't handle, I don't think it handles the like really fast pacing bad. I just think it is really fast pacing, you know.
Yes.
So, you know, it is what it is. It's not horrible pacing. It's just it could have probably been done a little better with like 10, 15 minutes on the runtime or so. But it still, I think, handled the pretty short runtime pretty well, I think.
I'm kind of in the same boat with the pacing. Definitely, like, throughout the whole first half of it, there was a lot. It felt like it jumped a lot between different stories. Like, there's moments where you really didn't feel like there was enough happening with the whole Mario and Peach line, and it would just jump to Luigi randomly and give you like the whole the whole baby scene.
Right.
Like like maybe if that was put somewhere else in the movie, maybe if you let the Mario and Peach scene ride out a little bit longer, that it probably would have felt a little bit better. Yeah. But it feels like it's trying to jump between the Mario and Peach, Luigi, and the whole Bowser line too much.
That's fair. I do think it didn't let certain scenes breathe long enough that it could have.
If you go into this movie not like having as much prior knowledge as like some people will, you might not be as attached to some of the characters, especially if you haven't put in a lot of time with Mario games. Like if you're just going into this knowing who Mario is, who the Mario characters are, you're going to be a little let down.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought the whole movie overall, for me, was, if anything was bad, it was just all outshined by what was good in the movie for me.
Yeah, I completely agree.
One thing that I am confused about, though, is now in the Mario lore, Peach is like a ninja or something. So how she be getting captured every time?
Yeah.
So Mario lore has changed now officially.
It has. Well, that's funny you say that because this is the first movie to ever indicate Mario and Luigi, or this is the first story of Mario that indicates them having a family, and that's something that's really interesting to me.
This was also the first appearance of the blue shell turtle.
Yes.
Ever.
I love that. They turned the most infamous item in Mario Kart into a character, and he works. He's amazing.
Bro, I can't believe they made him suicide bomb.
Kamikaze. Kamikaze on him. I think I really love. There are going to be spoilers, but we'll dance around them as much as we can. There's not much you can really spoil about the movie, anyways. But it's Charles Martinet, who plays Mario in the games and everything other than this movie. He plays Mario and Luigi's father in this movie. And I think it's awesome, first of all, that they introduced family members to Mario and Luigi. But the fact that he plays their father I love it. And you can tell it's him. And it's such if he's not going to be Mario, he should be the person that is above Mario in that sense.
Yeah. And I don't know if you guys noticed or if I was just thinking wrong, but the guy in the pizzeria playing on the Donkey Kong arcade machine in the back, that was supposed to be the dude from the game, right? From the original Donkey Kong game.
He's dressed
because he was dressed like Mario in a way, but he was more dressed like the guy from the Donkey Kong game, and he was obviously older than Mario himself.
Right.
I took that as like that was him, kind of implying that the guy that plays in the Donkey Kong game isn't Mario.
Well, to be fair, it is Jumpman in the game.
It's either that is like the original person who would have in the lore like felt like Cranky Kong, I guess, in the game. It could either be that, or it could just be a little subtle Easter egg, because he has the same like that kind of like color palette outfit as like is either the original like Mario movie or the Super Mario.
Oh, like in like he's got the red overalls and a blue shirt.
Yeah, like it's the same outfit that they wore in like other material
before they switched him over. Yeah,
exactly. So it could either be an Easter egg like that, or there could be deeper lore too.
Definitely, yeah. I really like the references, obviously, like that throughout the movie. I think something that in particular I wish they had done more of was Mario and Luigi's relationship. In terms of them being on screen together, because when they're on screen together, it's probably the best things about the movie. I think for the sequel, they need to definitely be on screen together, like almost the whole time, honestly. But that is probably that's probably the weakest thing about this movie, in my opinion, is the fact that they split Mario and Luigi up. But other than that, and even there's the complaint about, yeah, what did you guys think about the music? Like the actual like songs that were in the movie, the real life songs. Like Take on Me. Like what did you think of how they used those, or that they were in them at all?
I thought they're pretty good.
Yeah.
I thought they were used well. I thought they were used in the right spots. Definitely not what I was expecting though. I wasn't actually expecting any real life music. I was expecting all like video game music or the remixes of the games.
I'm kind of in the same boat. I think it worked well for where they put it. There were certain points where it does take me out of the story a little bit. It makes me feel a little less attached to the fact that it's a Mario movie, especially towards the end where they start playing, like Mr. Blue Sky.
Right.
I thought that was kind of tacky. I was just like, there was definitely some other Mario material that they could have put in, some other Mario music that could have been placed in. I thought the rest of it was all right, though. Yeah. I thought the music choices were good.
Yeah, I think the way that they use the music, it's honestly not an issue for me, because when I heard earlier reviews and stuff, people were like, they illuminationed it. They put pop songs in here, and I was worried. I thought that meant Pharrell's Happy was going to be in it, and it wasn't, and they said it was 80s rock, and I was like, I might be able to be alright with that then. And honestly, all the songs were fine. I think they were used alright, but if I were to change something about the movie, it would be to change the songs. It would be to not have them in there. Yeah. I do think that they were used well. I think those are really the only things I had an issue with. The animation is gorgeous. It's probably, I think it's arguably the best Illumination film, animation wise and just movie wise, I think.
I just have like one other small gripe with
Okay,
it.
yeah, what?
This was just like something that I kind of noticed with it. Like it's kind of based on pacing, kind of based on the advertisements, commercials, everything for it. I felt like a lot of the time in the movie, it was things that I had already seen like a million times in commercials. There wasn't a lot of scenes that you hadn't seen something from.
That's fair.
It's like obviously it's a Mario movie. Like they're not going to try and hide too much. It's not like a big like, ooh, what's going to happen? It's like obviously you know what's going to happen, but like as far as settings, characters, everything like that, like you had kind of seen all the big moments already.
Besides, like, the end fight.
Right, like the actual like end fight, like certain little changes that they would make to the music or the settings, like things like that. Like obviously there was a fair share of changes and everything that they did make, but I don't know, it felt like you had already seen a lot of the movies, so at times it would feel a little bit slower to watch it because you're like, I've watched this before.
They did show a lot in marketing. There was a lot that they didn't show, but they did show, I think it's arguable that they showed a lot of the biggest moments.
I don't think it's a huge gripe, but like it would just kind of slow it down a little bit for me. It just kind of made it like drag on.
I think though that might have to do with the fact that it's Nintendo's first movie back into the movie scene, so they wanted to make sure that the marketing was good and it was drawing people in. I think for the next movie, I don't think we'll see as much being given away throughout the movie. I don't think they'll throw as many scenes to us as they did.
That's fair. I think they the way it was marketed, where they were kind of showing every character, they had announced all the cast. It kind of almost sounded like there might be a little cameo from someone we didn't know about. I felt, and especially with Luma being in the movie, I thought Rosalina might have shown up at some point, just even as a little quick like, I'm here, bye, and then like that's it. But either way though,
you know who I'm surprised didn't make an appearance in this movie is Lakitu.
That's actually
I
a
thought
really good point.
when Mario and Donkey Kong like fell from the blue shell, that could have been like the perfect moment to bring in Lakitu to like catch him, and he's always around like Rainbow Road, like he always kind of like flies around it to catch people that fall off.
That would have been a good way to implement him, was to have him like be there. He like went down to grab him when they fell. That would have been a good way to implement him.
Even if they didn't say anything about it, it was just kind of like, even if he didn't like pick them up, because like obviously like I'm sure Lakitu would be working with Bowser in some kind of way, maybe.
Technically, because he's kind of a villain, yeah.
Right.
He could have been picking up Koopas or something instead.
Exactly. Just like even like in the background, you see someone fall off, he picks them up, puts them back on.
Yeah. Well, I think as a whole, the movie works. The story's obviously very simple, very. It's not a lot of depth, and I honestly wouldn't expect anything else. It works. It's got it implements different plot points from different games, like Odyssey, The Wedding, Luigi's Mansion, him being by himself. It's just, it implements a whole lot from every Mario game. It doesn't really stray away from. It doesn't really try to make itself be one specific plot from one game. And I really like that.
Yeah, it sticks true to what the games had created with all the power-ups. They're used the exact same. I even noticed that they did the P run from
Yeah. When he puts his arms out, and it was awesome.
I also noticed, I don't know if it was his hands or because the animation was real fast during this part, but I want to say for a moment he even had the wing cap. But it could have just been him doing the P run and flapping his hands. But I want to say there might have been a wing cap in there.
I think if they did the wing cap, they probably would have wanted you to see that they were doing the wing cap. But it could have been like a nice little visual reference too. Yeah. Hopefully they obviously did not show. Mario didn't even get a fire flower in this movie. Yeah. That's honestly kind of crazy.
Or an ice flower.
Or an ice flower, yeah.
He got the Tanuki, the cat.
Yeah. But it makes sense that they would not show every power in this movie. They want to save for the next few, very nice teases for what's to come. Got a certain character that might show up at the end of the movie or at the post-credit scenes. Stay for the post-credit scenes. They're especially the first one was really good with Bowser. Bowser sings probably the greatest songs ever written in
So
this
when
movie.
Bowser was singing, I was thinking that they probably just threw Jack Black into the studio and just told him to do whatever.
No,
just
I
sing whatever.
100% think that's probably what
And
they
I
did.
think him calling Peach Peaches throughout the movie was definitely like his call.
Yes.
Like not the studio. He probably was like, "Yo, I'm gonna do this."
To show like a little like pet name that he has. Yeah.
He also definitely just might have messed it up. They were like, I like that.
There was like, no, that's wrong. Well, we can't. Yeah.
I feel like with Jack Black, sometimes like there's certain things just to expect from him. It's like, yeah, he's gonna sing in it. He's gonna have a little like he's gonna have a number.
Yeah.
It's just like, and then he's just gonna throw his own little jokes in.
Right.
It's just like it's Jack Black. If he was in my movie, and I was like, I would let him just go off the wall and do whatever he wants.
They definitely characterized every single character the way that I have envisioned them my entire life. Not even through like games, but even how they're characterized in the old shows, or even people that just make in plush videos. They've been characterized in similar ways, and it all kind of lived up. And the scene for me that speaks most to that is the scene when Luigi flashes back to Mario and Mario as babies. That might be my favorite scene in the entire movie, just because it was unexpected. I didn't expect to see them as babies at all in the entire movie, but it's adorable, and it made me cry a little bit. And it felt exactly like, oh, that's how I play with how I used to play with the toys and stuff. And I think this movie definitely came out at the perfect time for us.
Yeah.
It really couldn't have come out at a better time. I like to describe that this movie kind of gave a closing chapter to our childhood in a sense.
In a way.
In a way, yeah.
I kind of wish they would have utilized more of Bowser's minions. They consistently showed like the spinies, the little spiny ball dudes.
Yeah.
And they showed Goombas, but neither of them were actually shown doing anything in the movie.
Yeah, except for in the one scene when Mario and Donkey Kong take on a bunch of minions in that one section, he like stomps a couple Goombas. Other than that, yeah.
Same goes for like Hammer Bros too. You just kind of see
Right.
them. It's just like that was a big thing for me. Is that when Bowser's like calling like his minions, like by name, it's just like why'd they stop at 3?
Yeah.
It's just like if you're gonna call them out by name, it's like you gotta like mention like some other ones, like because he had Piranha Plants in there. Is like he had like all his Hammer Bros.
Dry Bones.
Exactly. It's just like there was a lot more to it.
Yeah.
Like instead of just like Koopas, Goombas, Spinies.
Yeah. I like the visualization of all the items, the star at the end. The music was I honestly didn't expect the music for the star power up to be like epic. Yeah. And they made it epic, and I really like that.
One thing I really liked was during the wedding ceremony and whatnot, when they showed the audience, King Babam was there from the N64 game. I like how they showed that Bowser wasn't like the only, I guess, quote unquote leader in the world, like.
Yeah, like he has
King
his
Babam
own
there.
kingdom.
I even think I want to say they could have just been a really big Koopa or something, or a different form of Koopa. But you remember the one Koopa that's got the really big fists and he kind of spins in a circle in the games?
Boom Boom.
I think he was in the audience too.
Really? I did not catch that at all.
Yeah, I think he was there because I saw some oddly big Koopa and I was just kind of like, I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
But now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
That was one thing that I was kind of like weird about it, and it's like in the big audience is how like obviously they had like they had King Bob-omb in there. They also had King Boo. If they're gonna make like little visual gags like that in there, they could have thrown like the Koopalings in there. They could have thrown Bowser Jr.
Well, I think they're saving them for the next one.
I think so too.
Because they're obviously gonna have to go get the big bad boss guy.
Yeah,
What do you think the sequel will actually deal with?
Well, the sequel. What's funny is who they tease at the end of the movie. I don't want to say it because that is like a true like spoiler kind of. Yeah. who they tease at the end of the movie, the first game that this character appears in is also the first game that, I believe, the first game that the Koopalings appeared in. And I think they might be saving those to be like, well, we're introducing certain characters that were introduced at the same time in the games in the movie. And I think it's a good way to do it, I think. What would each of your like final like rankings of the movie? You can have two. You can even have two. Like I have two rankings. Like for me, I think the movie as a movie might be like a 7 or an 8, but as a Mario movie, it couldn't be better. It honestly is perfect to me, and I think it works as a Mario movie and as a video game movie 100%.
Yeah, I would say as a regular movie, I'd probably give it an 8 just on pure enjoyability. Yeah. But as like a Mario film and as a fan service film, yeah, it was a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, definitely.
I would agree. Yeah, for like a Mario movie, it's definitely 10 out of 10. You really can't get much better than this, especially for it being an introduction to maybe a bigger world for
like
it.
An origin story. Yeah.
Right, exactly. I think for just like on a movie scale, I'll probably give it just like an 8 out of 10, just based on kind of the pacing and just smaller aspects of it.
Same thing, basically. Good Mario movie, 8 out of 10. Like regular movie is about how I feel. Yeah.
Yeah, we all. It's safe to say we all kind of feel the same way about the movie, but just had to check. Enjoyable. I've seen people describe it as like a cute kids film. That's a perfect way to describe it. And film wise, it is a cute kids film. But if you're a Mario fan, it's probably one of the greatest movies you'll ever see. I want to test your knowledge on some Mario. So we've got our side hand here, Maddie, and she's gonna read us off some questions.
Who made their first appearance in Mario Tennis on Nintendo 64?
It's Waluigi.
Waluigi,
Yeah,
right?
it is Waluigi. It is? Okay.
What is the last course to be unlocked in Mario Golf Toadstool Tour?
I would never guess that one.
Florida.
Good answer.
Palm Beach. I don't know.
Bowser's Castle.
No. Well, it is Bowser, really.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
What
It's Bowser Badlands.
Bowser Badlands. Okay.
What year was Mario Kart Wii released?
2006.
2007?
2008.
That might be right. What do you think?
2009.
The answer is 2008.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right.
Let's go.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
It came out with the Wii, or did it come out the year after the Wii?
It came out. It came out with the Wii, I believe. Yeah, wait, no, 2008, 2006. No, it came out 2 years after.
For me, things like if it happened between 2006 and 2010, it could have happened any time for me. And it's just like those years blend together for me.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a true or false. There are 6 Mario versus Donkey Kong games.
Shot in the dark, true.
6 is like very specific, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna go false. I think there's like 4 though.
Okay, let me see. So it's Donkey Kong original, Donkey Kong Junior, and then the 2 that were released on the DS. Probably 4. So I'm gonna say false.
False.
It is true.
Yes, I'm so much
This is
smarter.
your fault. This is your.
I'm so much smarter.
Bro's got infinite knowledge.
Infinite knowledge.
Yeah.
The ultimate IQ.
I'm not sure if you guys would know this one, but the Mario creator was born in what Japanese city?
Throw one out there now. Just throw like
the Japanese city.
I swear to God, if one person says Tokyo, you're all going down.
Okinawa. I don't know if that's even.
I was actually gonna guess Okinawa.
Okay.
I was gonna guess Okinawa.
Hiroshima.
Kyoto.
It is a.
It's Kyoto.
It is.
Wow. Nice guess.
Yeah.
So,
The 3 Japanese cities we know.
Yep, that's the 4. Can't go to one
there's
of them.
another one.
What?
Nagasaki.
Oh yeah, the other one that
Yeah,
got
the other
bombed.
one, yeah, the other one.
Yeah.
in the Super Mario Sunshine game, Mario uses a tool strapped to his back to clean up messes on Isle Delfino called Flood. And what does Flood stand for? First one's Flash Liquidizer Ultra Dousing Device. Second one's Forensic Light Under Dirty Dog. Third one is Flaming Laser Ultra Dirt Destroyer. The fourth one is Fantastisch Ludwig und der Dingbat.
I'm gonna go with the first one. It sounded
Yeah,
the
I'm gonna
most
say that.
correct.
I'm going with the last one.
No, you're not. No, you're not going with the last one.
I'm going with the last one.
Bro is trolling.
I'll go with the last one with him.
So we got two first and two last.
Yeah.
It's the first one.
I figure liquid. You know, it's flood.
I
Yeah.
don't know, man. I feel like they would
Well,
do
dude,
something
you never,
stupid.
You never played Mario Sunshine?
I
What are
have.
you doing?
What are you doing, dog? What are you doing? What are you doing?
You uncultured swine.
Uncultured.
How dare you watch the Mario movie? Never play all the Mario games.
So, in which game did Mario first encounter the poison mushroom? Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels, Super Mario Land, New Super Mario Bros. Wii, and Super Mario Bros. 3.
Lost levels.
Lost levels.
Lost levels, yeah. How about you? What are you?
Actually, it's not.
That's correct.
Yeah, I figured.
I played the Lost Levels on my 3DS, actually.
Did you?
Only reason I knew that.
I didn't know it existed on 3DS.
Yes, sir.
In which game did Mario first get sleepy and take a nap when the player was idle?
64.
64.
I'm gonna go with Mario and Luigi Dream Team.
Sorry, that's not an option.
Wait, you can't give us the options.
Super Mario World, Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 64.
It's 64. Yeah, 64.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, yeah.
Which is the first Super Mario game where Mario's hat can be blown off his head? I feel like this one's a little easy. I even
First
know
one.
this.
No.
Super Mario Sunshine, Super Mario 64, Super Mario Odyssey, and New Super Mario Bros.
Okay, well, blown
Super
off
Mario
of his,
Bros.
Blown off his
blown
head.
off his head, because I know in 64 it gets taken.
Yeah, but it's not blown.
It's not blown, but I feel like that's probably what they meant. So I still
I'm gonna say New Super Mario Bros.
I don't ever remember it coming off
I
of
don't
his head
either.
in New Super
the
Mario.
only time it comes
Bros.
off is if
either,
you
but
get
it
like
might have.
99 lives.
What was the other one? Sunshine?
Sunshine.
I'm just gonna go Sunshine just cause I don't think it's 64 or any of the other ones.
I do feel like it came off in Sunshine.
I'm gonna
I
go
feel like
Sunshine.
Yeah,
He was
might be
outside a lot.
Because he flies and whatnot. Sunshine with the little water backpack.
Yeah, all right, Sunshine. I'll go Sunshine, yeah.
It was in 64.
Okay. So they're counting the vulture.
Yeah, coming down and snatching your hat.
The last question Nintendo has is, in the original Super Mario Bros. Game, Mario's iconic overalls weren't blue. They were...
Red. Yeah, they swapped.
They were red.
He used to wear a blue shirt.
Yeah, well, in Donkey Kong he does, but in the original Mario Bros, it's brown.
They were fuchsia.
What'd you say? Fuchsia?
camouflage, actually. No, I'm just kidding.
Can't. Well, might have been. Yeah.
Red.
Well, I mean, I think we've come to the end of that. So I want to say thank you to our guests, Brennan and Raven, for joining us today. Thank you, Maddie, for being our stagehand and reading our
Yeah.
questions to us. And we will get back to the rest of the episode.
Yes.
I agree with that. Yes. Wow. What a great review from those guys.
Wow. Phenomenal.
Incredible, enthralling,
Engaging.
engaging.
Beautiful guests.
If you couldn't tell, that was recorded a few days ago. But
Yes.
thank you to those guys for coming on here, Raven and
Love
Brennan.
those guys.
Yeah,
for
thank
sure.
you for coming on, guys. We had a great time recording that with them. Let us know if you want us to have more guests on. I mean,
Yes.
we're going to have
Yeah,
some, whether you want to or not. But let us know if you
Yes.
liked it. Yeah,
Leave a like.
yeah. Well, I suppose now we can jump right into what did we watch?
What we watch?
What did we watch this week? What did you watch this week?
I watched some movies.
Did you?
Yes.
I also watched some movies.
I guess a pretty big one was the movie I watched directly after the Mario movie,
Okay.
which was another video game based movie, but not like an adaptation really. More like an origin story of the game essentially, which is the Tetris film on Apple TV.
Yeah, I was like, what is he talking about?
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
The Tetris movie on Apple TV, starring Taron Egerton, who I believed was the creator of Tetris, but that is not true. He's not the creator of Tetris. He was, but he was still very influential in Tetris getting out to the public and it being as popular as it is.
Right.
But the actual creator of Tetris is also in the movie. He plays like the second lead, the supporting lead, I guess. And he's like a Russian guy basically. And it's honestly a pretty like fun movie. There's a I Need a Hero sequence.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's a good I Need a Hero sequence. There's actually some really good editing in the movie where like during this one car chase scene, the movie like goes in and out of animation. Wow. It's kind of crazy actually. It's a pretty fun movie. It's literally just like Taron Egerton's character basically is like taking on communism and taking on like the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
And that's basically what a major like theme of the movie is kind of like how communism and also capitalism as well. It basically his character is basically attacking American capitalism and Soviet Union communism essentially.
Okay.
And it's like what the story's trying to tell, at least what I got from it, is that like the actual creator of Tetris, who was like a Russian guy, he literally just made Tetris like randomly for himself one day. Like he didn't like sit down and like, oh, I'm gonna make this game
like
for
Facebook.
Like everybody. Yeah.
Like Martin Zuckerberg.
It was just kind of like a thing, that happened. And he what ended up happening, like he didn't really like care for he like cared for it, he cared for like Tetris and stuff, but he didn't like want to like make it like make money off of it like that or anything like that. But the Russian government got word of it or whatever, and they started making it blow up and stuff like that, and around Russia specifically, making it like a Russia based like PC game or whatever. And so like they were basically it was communism. Like they were like, it's our game now, basically. And they like kind of screwed him out of his own deal or his own game. He literally is the creator of the game and got jacked out of it.
Right.
And like all the profit for it and everything, and like even like the whole artistic meaning behind it and stuff was like lost kind of. And that also comes into play with the American capitalism, because they come in thinking that they can just like throw money at the wall and like that fixes like the damage that has been like dealt or whatever to him by like the communism and the communists and stuff like that. Taron Egerton's character is like, screw both those guys, let's just be good guys, be good people basically. And it was a pretty fun film. I ended up giving it like a 7.5, 7, something like that. Pretty fun, good watch. It's like The Social Network of Tetris, but like think like if The Social Network was like an action film taking on the Soviet Union or stuff. But it's not like there's not like a lot of action. Like there's not like Taron Egerton's character isn't like James Bond or something.
Right, yeah.
But there's like some car chase scenes and some, there's some action there and there, here and there and stuff like that. Yeah.
Nice. Sounds good. Well, my first film that I have up on here is The Man from U.N.C.L.E., which is the movie I was talking about earlier about the nice guys. It's a Guy Ritchie film.
Okay.
It's not as good as The Nice Guys. I think The Nice Guys was handled much better. Was The Man from U.N.C.L.E. done much better? It's Guy Ritchie is a lot of unlikely duos, and action films, buddy cop films, and it's an espionage kind of spy thriller action film with Henry Cavill and Armie Hammer, and Ava Van Claire, I think that's her name. She plays Ex Machina, the Ava in Ex Machina. But the movie is pretty good. It's fun. I gave it like an 8 or something, 8.5. It's really fun. It's very charismatic. A lot of interesting shots. Interesting camera work. Guy Ritchie, his camera work is always so super interesting with how he shoots his stuff.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say there's anything too special about the movie. It really is just a fun action kind of film. The story's real simple, and the characters are all enjoyable and fun. And I really do not have a lot to say about this movie. It really is just a fun movie. It's I think if you haven't seen it, you should definitely check it out because it's just a fun movie. But I think The Nice Guys is better. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
My next movie is The Fighter, starring Christian Bale, Mark Wahlberg, and Amy Adams. Directed by David O. Russell.
Okay.
The director of American Hustle, a film I previously reviewed on the podcast, and Amsterdam, which I don't think I've reviewed on the podcast, but I have reviewed before.
And you've given your opinion
Yeah.
on here.
2 films I'm not a big fan of.
Yes.
And I'm not a big fan of David O. Russell or his style in general.
Why does Christian Bale keep saying yes to these guys?
Now,
And Amy
The
Adams?
Fighter was before both those movies. So Amsterdam was like the most recent, and then
Okay.
American Hustle was in like 2016, 2017.
Yeah.
And then this movie, The Fighter, came out 2013, 2012, something like that.
Okay.
And Christian Bale plays a crack addict in the film.
Oh.
He's a crack addict boxing trainer for his little brother, who is Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg's a boxer in the movie, obviously, and yeah, he's just like he's the main character.
Right.
Mark Wahlberg is, and it's not a bad Mark Wahlberg performance. It's not anything like out of the ordinary. Like he is like a Boston boxer.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, kind of formulaic a little bit, but there's some kind of heart to it that's not like bad, And it feels pretty good. And Christian Bale is obviously really good. He lost like a good amount of weight, not like the Machinist type of weight where like he was like super skinny, but like he lost like realistic like drug addict weight,
Yeah.
So he got a little skinnier and stuff, and he played the role very well. He's definitely like the standout because like everyone else is just kind of playing like a person,
Right.
and he's playing like a person, but like on something, or
Yeah.
like something to exhibit. Amy Adams, I will say though, she does play a pretty feisty woman. She's pulling girls' hair and talking a bunch of trash and everything. She's pretty funny in the movie. I won't lie, because it's not like an Amy Adams type of role. Like Amy Adams to me is usually like, oh, she's like like the nice or kind of nice like quiet role or something like that. Or,
Yeah.
Or like just like a love interest kind of thing, like a Lois Lane type of thing.
Right.
But in this movie, she's literally like, cut your teeth out, kind of person.
Whoa.
Yeah, she's balls to walls for sure.
Wow.
And she gives probably the second best performance behind Bale, I'd say. Slightly better than Wahlberg because she's actually like doing something.
Right.
The film itself isn't bad. It's like it kind of follows a generic boxing kind of route. But the good thing is David O. Russell, he has like his style's like basically like non-impact on this movie. Like it's like can't even be seen. Like the style, like so Amsterdam and American Hustle are so like prevalent with his style of directing.
Yeah.
With his like carefree whatever, and this movie's like not that, which is so good. It's actually so good. It takes itself serious at some points that when it needs to.
Yeah.
And it also stays lighter and funny. If he made a lot more movies like The Fighter, he probably would be in my opinion, a really good director, but he did not.
Oh,
I ended up giving The Fighter I think a 7.5 as well. I think it was 7.5 out of 10 as well.
Wow.
Pretty fun, pretty okay, fun boxing movie. Had some heart to it.
Yeah.
And it had some funny moments and stuff. So yeah.
That sounds about how like I felt about Southpaw a little bit. I think Southpaw definitely is better than what you described, but that's kind of how I felt about that
Okay.
too. Um, my next film was Dunkirk, Christopher Nolan's take on a real life World War II event, the evacuation of the Dunkirk beaches.
Yep.
Um, wow, this film it's really good.
Yeah.
It's not it's not like my favorite Nolan film that I've seen. Obviously, that still goes to Interstellar, but it's definitely up there. It's really good. It's uh, it really brings you into the world. Like it really brings you into the setting. It's very loud. The sound design is incredible.
Bro, yeah. This is actually one of the only like movies that I like know of, but like before I started like getting into movies and stuff,
Right.
that I saw in theaters. I actually
Oh.
saw Dunkirk in theaters. And I remember
must
the
have been-
movie being loud, bro. I remember the movie
Yeah.
being so loud.
That must have been an experience because this movie is the sound design is incredible.
Oh, yeah.
As is the cinematography and coloring. The whole movie is different tints and shades of blue.
Yes.
Very very nice. Very nice coloring and cinematography. Beautiful cinematography. I think my favorite part about this movie is Tom Hardy's character, who is like the MVP. It
Yeah.
literally genuine hype filled me whenever he showed up on screen.
Yeah.
His story. So the movie takes place over 3 days and kind of intersects the different stories at different points in the timeline, and they still flow. Like day 1 can be shown after day 3 and impact day 2. You
Yeah.
know, and it still like makes sense. It like flows right. The storytelling is really good. The acting is really good. I think obviously the standouts were Cillian Murphy, Tom Hardy, and even Harry Styles, which was this was his first acting role.
Yep.
And so far, I think he has yet to top it because
Yeah.
he hasn't really. I mean, Don't Watch It, Darling was that, but yeah, I think he did a really good job in Dunkirk.
Yeah.
This movie it's a lot of fun. It's a different take on a war film
Yeah.
because it doesn't focus on the death at all. Like
Yeah.
the death is not a big. I think maybe like one person dies on screen.
The main, I would say the main points of like actual like death like were a big factor of the movie obviously is like the like fear of death.
Yes,
like
definitely.
that like of the thriller aspect and stuff of the movie. But there, like you said, there's not like a whole lot of on-screen deaths. The only big like actual like, oh crap, that guy's dead is
There's only one, yeah.
Tom Hardy's character, you know.
Oh, I was thinking of a different character, but I won't say who that is just because that could be a spoiler. But Tom Hardy's character, I did kind of feel that too.
Yeah,
Yes.
because,
I
like,
didn't even think about that.
Well, at the end, at the end of the movie, kind of, they at least allude to something happening.
Has something happened? Yeah, but it was a real rush.
Yeah.
It really it ramps up and it doesn't really it's slow in the beginning.
Yeah.
I'd say the first 20, 25 minutes are pretty slow, but once it gets going, it doesn't stop.
Yeah.
It's a really good watch. I definitely recommend it. I gave it like an 8 or an 8.5 or something.
Okay.
Really, really good war film. Different take on war. Focuses more on the living aspect rather than the dying aspect, which I really like.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. My next movie is gonna be Dazed and Confused.
Oh, Matthew.
With Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
Came out in 1993,
Okay.
but it's set in 1976.
Okay.
So it's a 70s film that came out in the 90s.
Right.
It has a young Matthew McConaughey in it. And it's like a high school kind of film, right? It doesn't really follow a specific, like, one character. It's, like, always kind of bouncing between, like, different groups of age groups of high school, which kind of makes the film, which is kind of like a big charm of the film, I think, is that it like has a lot of relatability despite any age group or whatever. It has like the freshman kids who are just like scared about going to high school and stuff in general, and then like they have like the stereotypical kind of like senior bullying the freshman stuff, and then they have like the seniors who are like preparing for like adulthood and stuff like that, and just like a lot of relatable high school different age groups and stuff, that they like follow throughout the movie, and it kind of like bounces back and forth between like these guys getting chased by like some senior bullies, or like these guys are like just partying or something, and then like these people are like driving in a car talking about whatever. It's like it's a very it's a definitely all over the place movie. It's bouncing everywhere, but it's definitely a comedy. It's like, I'm pretty sure it's like a pure comedy. It's like a raunchy kind of weed comedy, essentially. Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, and a bit like literally like every character in the movie smokes weed.
Okay.
Basically. Yeah. And Matthew McConaughey, the entire movie is just like, all right.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. And but it's hard to describe like why the movie's good, but it's just a really fun, funny, raunchy like comedy movie.
Yeah.
And it does what it's trying to do very well.
That's good.
The humor's very good, and it fits the 70s like vibe. One of the funniest lines I think in the film is it comes from like one like random girl that's not even like a character really in the movie. She's just like an extra or whatever, and she says like, oh man, the 70s are awful or whatever. Like she basically was like kind of like how people are now, like, oh, I hate living in this like time period or whatever, but it's in like the 70s, and I just thought that was a really good line, because like the 70s are like one of the most like glamorized and like like kind of sought after like eras in general and stuff, and she's like, oh man, people are gonna hate the 70s looking back on it and stuff.
Wow, yeah, that's a very, very opposite of. That's hilarious.
But I just thought it was a pretty funny, pretty relatable, good movie. I gave it like a 7.5, 8 out of 10, something like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. My next movie was Under the Skin with Scarlett Johansson. This movie is famous for being the movie where Scarlett Johansson is like bare naked for like most of the movie. It's a pretty interesting watch, if I do say so myself.
Interesting concept.
Yeah, neat concept. I might have to check that out. No, but she is. It's like the whole thing is like she's naked for most of the movie, but that's kind of the whole point, because she plays like an alien. This is an A24 film also.
Oh wow.
She plays an alien that comes to Earth, disguises itself as a woman, and then basically lures men in to be consumed in like a different dimension. Now, I want to say that this movie has little to no dialogue. Like it has dialogue, but it isn't important dialogue at all, and it's more just so the characters have something to say when they're on screen together.
Okay.
It is visually one of the most disturbing films I've ever seen. It's incredibly unsettling. The only movie to me that I've seen that rivals it is The Lighthouse, and I think The Lighthouse is a little bit more disturbing. But this is something that it's just weird. It's so strange. It's very it feels like very alien. You're truly in the eyes of an alien. Like, and Scarlett Johansson is great in the movie too, because she will interact with a person and feel human, and then the moment the person is gone, she like clicks back and she's like soulless. Okay. And it's kind of interesting how she plays this character, and it's honestly a really good performance. But the movie was kind of slow. It was a little boring. Story was fine, and there really wasn't anything awful about the movie at all. It really just is very slow, and it's only like an hour and 40 minutes, and it felt really long.
Okay.
But it's, I don't know, it was good, and I definitely would recommend it if you're a fan of like really disturbing films. Just in general, if you like to be unsettled, like watch this movie. But that's really all I can. And if you're like, I don't know, you like Scarlett Johansson, especially in this.
That's
movie.
probably why I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah. But she gives a good performance, and the music is real ominous, and the visuals are really good. There's good cinematography. The weakest part about the film is like the B plot, and it's like this guy who's clearly supposed to be an alien with her, that is only on screen with her like once. And the only thing that part of the movie gives us is like really cool cinematic shots of this guy driving on a motorcycle through like mountain ranges. It's beautiful shots. But I don't know, that was like the weakest part for me. Okay. I think the movie, what it does really well is it shows you exactly how she's feeling without her saying a word, because throughout the movie she becomes more human. She obviously is basically, I won't say raping these guys, because she's not like actually having sex with them.
Yeah.
She just lures them into a place to where they can be consumed, basically. But she basically opens up and becomes more human throughout the film. And how I perceived that was, she was like a monster that was taking advantage over humans, but she becomes more human and finds out like monsters in real life, like real life bad people that like take advantage of humans.
Okay.
So that's kind of how I looked at that. I gave it like a 6.5 or a 7. It's a good movie, but it wasn't my kind of thing, I don't think, and it was just really slow. But it's very disturbing, great visuals. The opening is weird.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna add that one to the watch list.
Yeah, the opening kind of sets the entire tone for the film. It literally feels like you're watching like, what is this? And then you kind of feel like that throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
Like, what is this?
Okay.
But that's that was a good movie.
Okay.
It was alright.
My next movie is Speed.
Okay.
Speed.
Featuring
Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock, and it came out in, I want to say, 1994 is when it came out.
Okay.
1994 is when this film came out, and it's a very good action film. You know, that's like the first and foremost thing about this film, is that it's an action thriller kind of movie, and it takes place almost entirely on a bus, and the bus is rigged with a bomb.
Oh.
And if the bus goes under 50 miles per hour, the bomb explodes. So they have to keep the bus driving around the city and stuff above 50 miles per hour, or the bus will explode. That's why the movie's called Speed.
Okay.
Because you have to,
you
have some speed.
Yeah.
And they end up going through all different types of troubles and stuff, and it's a cool action film. There's some good stunts, some very cool stunts, some very thrilling, heart pumping moments and everything. Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock's character like kind of just gradually just get together for whatever reason at the end of the movie, which is cool.
Because they're both attractive.
Yeah, they survived a traumatic moment together.
Yeah.
So, yeah. The only thing that I really kind of diminished the movie for me is it's not like this isn't really a bad, like a really heavily bad thing, but it doesn't really try a whole lot to be like super different, besides like, oh, most of the movie takes place on a bus.
Yeah.
It's kind of like its gimmick, and it's okay. It's fun. It's definitely fun. I think it achieves what it's going for. It just doesn't achieve a whole lot, you know. And the another big thing that holds it back is like the antagonist or the villain. This dude is literally just like, yeah, man, I'm just in it for the money. I wish I had a greater motive, but nah, just the
What?
money.
What in the
I literally
world?
was like, who's this goofball on the screen right now, man?
Cartoon evil villain.
I ended up giving it a another 7.5, I think, honestly.
Wow.
It was a fun, good movie. Definitely not like a waste of time or anything. You definitely should check it out. It's a cool Keanu Reeves he's good in those action movies and stuff. And it's definitely a one I would check out for sure if I haven't seen it.
I've been told I should watch it. My mom has been wanting me to watch it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's pretty good.
Nice. I watched Fantastic Mr. Fox, a movie that I have seen actually recently. We watched it where I work. But I didn't really get a feel for what it was like until I actually sat down and watched it. I watched it when it first came out, but I had no appreciation for it at the time, and I didn't understand how good it was. Rewatching this movie is really good. Fantastic Mr. Fox is obviously it's a Wes Anderson film.
Yep.
And something that I applaud Mr. Anderson on is the fact that he can make his animated movies and his live action movies feel like there's no difference between them. And I love that because even though it is animated, it's not for kids. It's not like, oh, this is a kid's film, but it's animated. It's animated. No, this is clearly a Wes Anderson film. It's PG, but it's clearly like adults will appreciate this more than children.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's really fun. A great cast of characters. A great cast in general. George Clooney being Fantastic Mr. Fox. Probably the only performance I've really cared for George Clooney in.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of personality. There's a lot of great music in it. Great backdrops and set pieces. Obviously, it's stop motion animation, and it's it just works really well. I don't remember the movie being as when I first watched it. Obviously, I didn't really care for it that much, but rewatching it, man, it's so good. It's probably one of the best animated films that I've ever seen. Honestly, not like in terms of animation, but like just as a movie that is
as a
animated.
movie, yeah.
It's up there. It might be like top 15, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a really good movie. I gave it like a 9 out of 10. I don't know. Have you seen?
No.
You haven't?
I haven't. A big one for me. I gotta watch for sure.
I do again. I congratulate Wes Anderson on making his animated movies and his live action movies feel like there's no difference between them. And you definitely feel like it's funny because you can feel it's a Wes Anderson movie no matter what.
Yeah.
Because you still feel it. Yeah, but
It's awesome that his style has to like it's so unique and stuff that it bleeds through regardless of like how he's like doing the movie, you know?
How the movie's made or what kind of movie it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It could be an action film and it's still like Grand Budapest is kind of like an action film, you know? And it's like his version of an action film. So yeah. It's I don't have much to say about that one because it came out in 2009 and a whole lot of people my age have already seen it and grew up with it.
Yeah.
But again, it's a really good film and it's very heartwarming. They don't do a whole lot of there's character development, but it's not like they focus on it too much. And when they do, it's like really adult and like really heavy stuff. It's literally like the wife is like, I don't know if I should have married you or some stuff like that, you know? And it's kind of like, whoa, that hit, you know? That's
kind of sounds like some Wes Anderson dialogue kind of stuff. Yeah.
Very Wes Anderson dialogue in this movie, obviously. But no, it's a really good movie that you can really watch with anybody too. So, yeah.
Cool. My last movie is Arrival by Denis Villeneuve, starring Amy Adams.
Yes.
Another Amy Adams movie. It also has Jeremy Renner in it, and Forrest Whitaker is included in that cast as well.
Okay.
A little bit more minor of a role. But it's a very interesting film, especially watching it now that I have a little bit better grasp on like how movies are structured and made and stuff like that. The biggest thing I think is the visuals are breathtaking. The film is obviously about the arrival of aliens on Earth, right? And they're in these big ships that just like sit on like 12 different places, I think, on Earth or something like that. And when when Denis Villeneuve brings us like to these locations and sets, they're so crazy, and especially inside them, the scenes where they're like or talking with the aliens and messaging with them and stuff is phenomenal. And that's also part of the movie as well, is that uh, Amy Adams' character is like a language professor, and so the military brings her in to try to translate and communicate with the aliens who have developed like a heavy like futuristic kind of language that doesn't even like require sounds or anything like that. It just is like symbols, and it's like them differentiating like symbols, and it's like visual communication basically.
Wow.
And it's it goes a little bit deeper than that, but like that's like spoiler kind of territory and stuff that in the movie. But Amy Adams' character specifically is definitely the heart of the movie. Her character's everything in the movie basically. Her and like the overall story of the film itself is like the main draw for the movie. Jeremy Renner's he's there, he's like okay. And Forrest Whitaker his character's like barely there. So Amy Adams is definitely the star of the show. And it definitely falls in perfectly with Villeneuve's filmography. It's just one of those films that's kind of hard to talk about because like a lot of the stuff that you would talk about like about the movie is like big spoiler points of the movie itself, like big reveals or big like thing that's the movie's about, but you can't really talk about it. Until you watch it and everything. But like I said, the cinematography is outstanding. It fits in wonderful with the rest of his filmography. Probably one of his best. I think I ended up ranking it, I want to say a 9 out of 10. I think it's either a strong 8.5 or it's a 9.
Okay.
So it's one of those. I'm thinking it's a 9.
Wow. That's one that I need to watch. I remember when it came out too, in trailers and theaters. I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I actually remember like promotion for it. I think like the teaser posters are literally just like the alien like pod ship or whatever.
Big like black
and it's like they've arrived. Something like that on the words,
Arrival. They have arrived.
They've arrived.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Definitely gonna give that a watch.
Yep.
Well, my final film. What?
Yep.
Yep. My final film was Pulp Fiction. Uh-oh. This movie sucked. No, this movie's incredible. This is a great movie. I can't explain. I want to talk about this because I don't know if anybody else feels like this. They might. But this movie, I've never seen it. This is my first time watching it. And I feel like I've seen it before and that I could rewatch it again right after it was over. It's got this weird nostalgic feeling.
Yeah.
And I've never even seen it before.
Definitely has a nostalgic feeling. I definitely feel that.
It's weird. It's weird how it has a nostalgic feeling on me when I've never even seen it before until now.
Yeah.
But I wanted to start by saying that because that was it was a feeling I had about the movie that I don't know if anybody else really had. But yeah, the movie is very orange, very yellow.
Yeah.
Great use of orange and yellows in this movie. The storytelling is very unique because it's told as a show. It's told as an episodic show, but out of order, which is really interesting to me. And again, the story, just like Dunkirk, the story wouldn't work as well if it were in order.
Yeah.
It would feel very generic if it were in order,
Yeah.
But of course, the acting is incredible. Bruce Willis and Samuel Jackson and John Travolta Uma Thurman. They all are so good in this movie. Tim Roth is in the movie for 10 minutes, and he's incredible too.
Yep.
Yeah. This is a movie where it's like almost everybody and their grandma has seen it, so it's
Yeah.
like, what do I even have to say about it? But it's just, I haven't seen very many Tarantino films. So far, I've seen both Kill Bill films, Reservoir Dogs, and now this.
Yeah.
And so far, this is my favorite one. And it might remain that until I watch more.
Yeah.
But Pulp Fiction, man, something nostalgic about it, and I haven't even seen it before. And Samuel Jackson is my favorite character, obviously.
Yeah.
He's
Jules.
everybody's favorite character from the movie. And I think...
what again? Say what
Yeah.
again?
Say what again? I dare you.
I double dog dare you.
I double dare you. Say what again? What ain't a country I ever heard of? No, but it's so fun and like it's so weird how Tarantino makes these characters who are horrible people.
Yeah.
And you just love them.
Yeah, you
just
do.
want to see more of them.
Yeah.
And I love that every single character has a personal story arc. They all go through something that is out of character for them. Like story changes for their character. Like epiphanies, you know?
Yeah.
John Travolta's character and Uma Thurman, basically. I don't know. That was a nice dynamic. They both kind of had their own little things with the drug scene where she ODs.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis is obviously him and Marcellus Wallace don't get along very well, but he goes back to help him, and obviously at the end with Samuel Jackson kind of turning around a new leaf or turning over a new leaf. I don't know, but it's so.
It's kind of funny though because Samuel Jackson's character turns over a new leaf, but John Travolta's character kind of does, but kind of doesn't at the same time.
Right, yeah.
Which is why he ends up in the situation
he does.
that he does in the later storyline.
He had an opportunity to turn over a new leaf.
Yeah.
But he didn't.
Yeah.
In a sense. So everyone does get kind of a personal arc.
But I love that moment specifically, in the later Bruce Willis storyline that we're talking about, because that's like a huge moment. That's like, whoa, man, this is like really like an intersecting kind of narrative, you know, that's kind of always going. And I don't know, that was just a really big part that stood out to me, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I definitely. And Marcellus Wallace is a.
Oh yeah.
Ving Rhames, who plays him, he's great. His
great.
monologue that he gives.
Oh yeah.
When the scene is done and he's like getting ready to, it's about to be over, you know.
Yeah.
You don't tell nobody about this. So good. Such a good scene. I mean that movie is full of iconic scenes.
Yeah.
No, but it was
Bruce Willis with a katana,
with the
bro.
katana. That's so funny that he like whips out the hammer. He's like, nah, and he like goes through a bunch of different weapons and he sees the katana.
What was his name in the movie? Butch.
Butch, yeah.
Oh gosh, he goes, we good, Marcel? And he goes, we good, Butch.
Yeah, we good, yeah.
We good, Butch.
Oh man, but that movie's so good, and I think I reluctantly, or I was hesitant to give it a 10 just because it was my first watch, and I think if I'm hesitant to give something a 10, it probably isn't a 10, you know?
Yeah.
But I think after a second watch, it could be a 10, but for right now, it's a 9.5.
Okay, cool.
I'm definitely going to rewatch it. I don't know when, but I will. When I have time, I'm going to rewatch it.
For
and
sure.
It'll probably become a 10.
Nice.
Yeah. But Pulp Fiction, little indie art house film that no one's heard about.
No one's heard about that.
Really good. Check it out.
Yeah.
But I think we've come to the end of this podcast episode.
I think we have.
Another long one, but hey, you know.
What are you here for?
Yeah, what are you here for? If you don't want to hear us talk, get out of here. You don't want to hear 3 hours of two guys you've never met talk before? But anyways, thank you, everyone, everybody in the world who's
Everyone.
listening right now. Our world renowned podcast.
You are special.
Yeah, we're going on tour. We're going on tour.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm just kidding. We do not have the budget.
No tours planned.
No tours planned. That'd be fun though to do a tour.
Yeah.
If we were big one day, that'd be fun.
That would be dope.
No, but thank you everybody for listening on whatever you're listening on.
Yep.
Next week, got another episode. Don't know what we're talking about. Probably more Mandalorian.
Oh, that
I'm
for
sure
sure,
there will
yeah.
be a whole bunch of news.
Yeah, sure there will be news coming out.
Yeah. I doubt there will be as much news as there was this week.
Yeah, I
but
doubt it.
who
for
knows?
sure.
Who knows?
Well, hopefully some more Marvel news, maybe. That'd be cool.
Hopefully, yeah, definitely. Oh, actually, speaking of which, we're supposed to get the Marvels trailer before on the 11th.
Nice.
So
Well,
during
let's
the
talk
week,
about.
yeah, we'll talk about that
Nice.
if that's something that's true. If we get that, but yeah, thank you all for listening. We have been the Cinemaniacs, and we will catch you on the next
Time.
time. Okay.
Signing off.
I'm signing my name off. Goodbye.
Bye.
Okay, bye. The Cinemaniacs podcast.